Get,
Hey Darth, how do you feel how Jerry Falwell did Jim Baker?
I'm sorry, I'm chewing something and I missed. Excuse me for talking with food in my mouth. Could you repeat that?
You know how Jerry Falwell did Jim Baker regarding the PTL network?
Yeah, I remember it vividly. What did you want me to about what?
What's your opinion? Do you think Jerry Falwell was right to kind of take that out from under Jim Baker and not let him come back to it and get back on the top, or what do you think?
Well, first of all, Jim Baker screwed himself. Number two, I think Jerry Falwell was just seizing on an opportunity to acquire assets from another so-called nonprofit organization that he could very quickly incorporate that into his situation. I think that Jerry Falwell was a compromiser on a number of things. Early on, I used to like him, but the more later on, he was a compromiser. I mean, there's even photographs of him hugging Sung Young Moon. I know. Do you know who that is?
I heard the name, but I don't know who it is.
He's a cult leader of the Unification Church. Okay, so Jerry Falwell was just swooping in. He was nowhere near as bad as Jim Baker. Okay. But he was just swooping in. I hate to use the word vulture, but hey, listen, when there's dead meat on the street, you don't want to turn down a free meal. Okay, so this was a large set of assets that he tried to incorporate into his organization.
I get it, kind of like there's no honor among thieves, kind of thing.
Well,
Benny Hinn's another one. Yeah,
there wasn't anything illegal or anything overtly unethical about it. It's just that I think it would have been better as a Christian to let PTL completely die, for the sham that it was.
that was the opposite.
When I say sham, I don't think that Jim Baker was the kind of televangelist who would be an atheist, who was just doing this for the money. I just think that Jim Baker was a kook, and he's always been a kook.
That could be. I often wondered that. Have you seen any of the Vic Berger spoofs of Jim Baker?
Those are pretty funny.
God,
no,
oh,
but I can imagine they're funny.
Oh, they're funny. You should look it up. Jim Baker.
Yeah,
Jimmy Bucket Baker. He sold all the buckets for the apocalypse, buckets. Right?
Yeah. Jimmy now, yeah. Well, look, this is a way to get gullible people to contribute. I'm not against televangelism per se, but on the televangelism landscape, and I haven't been following it for years. I used to follow it more closely, but most of them are just clowns. They're either nutso or they're charlatans.
His co-host, Jim Baker's wife, I guess she had 5 abortions. She was talking about it on his.
Yeah, she said that. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. All my abortions, she said, in one of the Vic Berger shows. Yeah. Anyway, people are people.
His current wife?
Listen, my headset went out and I had to switch it, and I missed what you said.
So on one of their shows, the Jim Baker show with his new wife, the way she framed it was really cringe, and I wish I could repeat it, but she basically said she had 5 abortions, and she's right now during the show she was thinking of all the kids she aborted. Like a really weird take.
Yeah. Yeah. Some strange stuff. People do.
I don't believe that Jim Baker set out to commit fraud. I think he just got caught up in all of the ever-expanding people getting involved, and then they got to a point where they're like saying, well, so many people want to buy this, and we know that people will buy this and they won't show up. Now, was it fraud? Yeah. I don't think he started out to intend to do that. But once it got to a certain point, he just went like figuring, okay, these people are never going to show up anyway, so what difference does it make? He would rationalize it by saying that the overselling of the options would be like donations, okay? But it backfired on him. Most people don't know that Jim Bakker and Tammy Faye Bakker, they got their start being puppeteers for Pat Robertson. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think I heard something.
And that weirdo Paul and Jan Crouch also got their start for working for Pat Robertson.
Yeah.
But what's amazing is Pat Robertson just stepped down from the 700 Club. I mean, I can't even believe the guy was still on TV.
Yeah, I remember watching him on YouTube videos every now and then for the past few years, and it was the old Pat Robertson. But then when I finally saw that he retired, I saw the difference in age. I was like, wow, yeah, he's been on there for a long time.
I'd be surprised if television didn't do more for religion than Darwin did for gays. I don't think Darwin did a lot for gays, but I think
what Darwin did for gays.
Yeah, you were saying that Darwin was the cause of all this hooplas today, but
no.
TV is what brought back the
Here's
religion.
what I mean. Here's what I mean. Okay, before Darwinism there's always been homosexuality. Okay, what I'm talking about is Darwin came up with a wide scope ideology, worldview that helped facilitate people to abandon the belief in God and that they were accountable to God, and that they could live any way they wanted, okay, including sexually.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see that the majority would think that God would be against it. Some Christians don't think he's against homosexuality, but I think they're a minority.
I'm not saying that if somebody believes in evolution, they'll become a homosexual. I'm saying as that worldview spread in people's minds, then people are like, well, if we evolved, we're not created. The biblical story of creation is not true. I'm free to live my life as I see fit, and I'm not under the oversight of a creator.
Freer, as far as making personal decisions, yeah. But it's kind of a thing, like, I can't say what it would be like to be gay, so I don't know what kind of a pull that would be. Now, there's a couple people I could talk to about it that are Christian, and I have heard what they've had to say. And it's quite a struggle. It's quite a pull on them, and I would think that's a lot of shame that's unnecessary. But
why is it unnecessary?
That's my worldview. That's why my.
Why is the shame? Why is the shame unnecessary?
I guess because I think that being gay is, although untypical, I still think it's part of nature. I think it's natural. I don't think people should be shamed because of it. Now, sexual deviation and abuse is another thing altogether. I don't equate the two.
There is in a world without God, there is no sexual deviation. There is just what is. It's just stuff that just happens.
Well, there's not from your worldview, but from my worldview, there is a line of. We try to relate to rationally, but that's
right. But your position would just simply be a social convention.
Yeah, collective intelligence. I like to think of it. Hopefully, some societies don't seem that intelligent, But
well, I'd be more talkative at the moment.
Versus culture, right?
Yeah. Culture. I'd be more talkative at the moment. As people know, I am, but I'm working at the moment, so I'm listening, half talking.
All right. Well,
I mean, I don't agree with you,
but
I do welcome your input, but I don't agree. But that's okay. That's
Angels.
I think I'm going to get back to it too. But yeah, go ahead, guys.
Did you say collective? What was that term that you used?
Collective intelligence. Just basically people getting together, getting smarter over time.
So, is there a line on that?
I have a good response to that, Angel.
Like make microwaves and TVs and stuff,
So, what if the collective intelligence
internet
states to just start slaughtering every child that's born? Would that be okay?
Can you hear
That would
me?
be a
bud?
plot twist. That'd be
Can
a
you-
plot twist.
How so? Have cultures
Yeah, I
not
can hear
done
you,
that in
Bart.
the
What's up,
past?
Bart? Oh, Bart's gone. He must have been. No, I'm just saying that's a hypothetical that I don't see as something that's realistically going to be proposed.
So when Nazi Germany decided to kill all the Jews, do
Eh,
you think that that was just not something that
You hear me,
Yeah,
Angel?
that's
is likely?
there's different, like we were saying, there's different cultures, and some of them seem, like I was saying, to fall astray. What's going on, Bart?
Well, you see, my response to that is, you see, we're just mere men, right? God is the only one who's judging or to judge, right? We could, uh, as a fellow brother, I could try to lead you in the right path, right? But
That's right.
don't know God's redemptive plans.
Praise the Lord Jesus.
I couldn't send you to hell or anybody else that's gay because you see, I don't know God's plan or what is the betterment of all humanity, right? So I can't blame another person or tell them whatever. I could try my best, right? But I don't want to stand in the way of God's plan either.
No,
So I just
I
stay in
don't.
my. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
right. I don't think I should judge you for wearing mixed fabrics either. So that's just the way it goes. Like we have to
So
be
right and
men.
wrong
You're right.
is arbitrary?
To each their own, essentially. When it's
Are you
private.
trying to suggest that certain mores that people hold to that would have some origin in the Mosaic Code that they're just cherry picking?
That's aimed at
Mosaic
Barth,
code.
by the way.
Yeah.
What's that?
That question is posed to Barth. He's muted. I don't know if he's there.
No, that was posed to the other guy, not Bart.
Well, I'll let Bart take it because I don't quite understand.
No, I'm
what you mean
asking
by
you.
Mosianic.
You said you.
What do you mean by
brought up
Mosianic?
Mosaic.
So Moses law?
Moses, yeah, the covenant,
Yeah.
the covenant with Moses and the nation of Israel. Do you think
Yeah.
that when we espouse any morality that aligns with certain things, that we're just cherry picking what we want to accept and reject?
Well, I definitely wouldn't reject things that I align to because they came out of a Bible. I think there's some
No.
knowledge
Do
there.
you think, for example, that if Christians oppose homosexuality
Oh,
or transvestism, that they're
right.
just cherry picking that, but they're not choosing not to have mixed threads or fabrics?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, well that's
I think it was. I think it was
that's a
a poke.
failure.
That was a poke. That was a poke at Bart because the mixed fabric thing. I don't think anybody follows that, and that's what I was saying. Like some things have
No,
fallen away. If that's what you mean.
okay. Well, first of all, when we look at the various commands in the Mosaic Code, right? Certain of the commands are simply specific to God's dealings with Israel to make them a unique people. Other things within the law are reflective of God's general purposes in creation. Okay? So, for example...
Well, that was God. That was God's picking different people for different laws, right?
No, listen carefully. In the 630 plus laws of the Mosaic Code, okay, certain things are dietary laws, certain are civil, certain are ceremonial, some are sexual, okay, some are, Now, some of the laws in there are reflective of God's general purposes in creation, okay? Other laws are not reflective of God's general purposes in creation, but are specific to the nation of Israel to make them a unique people. Okay? So, for example, the prohibition on pork, right, and the prohibition on certain foods was to act as an object lesson to ingrain in the Jewish mind that there is right and wrong, there is good and evil, there is holiness and unholiness, righteousness and unrighteousness. Now, there are certain of the laws that wouldn't necessarily reflect God's general principles in creation, but they might have a benefit to the nation of Israel if they followed it. Like, for example, not eating certain not unclean animals, because it would be more healthy to eat kosher foods. Okay. Now, in the Gospels, Jesus said, "It's not what goes into a man that defiles him, but it's what comes out of the heart of the man that defiles him." And then the commentator in the Gospel says, and thus Jesus was declaring that all food or meat was clean. They weren't clean dietarily or ceremonially, but he was declaring that they were intrinsically clean. Okay? Now, you might eat something that might make you sick, but it doesn't defile you spiritually. But if you were a Jew within the Mosaic covenant and you ate it, you would defile yourself because you are not abiding by the terms of the covenant that God had with his people. So the stipulation against homosexuality or other sexual issues, alongside with, let's say, for example, wearing mixed fabric or not eating certain non-kosher foods, okay, are not the same. Because there are certain principles, as I said before, and I don't mean to be redundant, but it's important to repeat it. These reflect God's character and his general purposes in creation, such as he made them male and female. Okay? God did not create males to get romantically and sexually involved with each other. Okay? And vice versa. So those laws in the Old Testament are reflective of what God did in creation. So we're not cherry picking. Now, there are some Christians who do advocate for the imposition of all of the civil rules, and other Christians don't. They're known as theonomists or reconstructionists. But most evangelicals don't advocate that. So that when we talk about having laws against adultery, having relations or marriage with a close relative, or prohibition against homosexuality, but we eat shrimp or we eat pork, we're not cherry picking. You understand? Are you there? Is my mic working?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So I just showed you we're
okay,
not cherry picking.
Yeah. No, I said yes. That was a good explanation. It comes down to level of sin, I guess. Like, some things are not big sins and some things are more sins. Some things are only meant to show people certain things and they weren't really classified as sins. Maybe that's what you're saying. Like
disobedience
just
to some
cultural things for health reasons, right?
some disobedience to any of the laws willfully by a member of the covenant would be a sin, not because the non-compliance of that practice was sin, but because the non-compliance was a breaking of the covenant.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay, it wasn't
just
that
like
the actual
eating
action.
Of the fruit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, that's definitely a good explanation from your worldview, I think. I remember growing up, I was taught that every sin was basically equal in the eyes of God.
Well, that's a half truth. Okay. All sin is equal before God because it's rebellion against God, but certain sins have greater social consequences that moves us away from God's general purposes in creation. So some sins are in fact worse than others, but all sins are equal toward God because it's simply rebellion against the character and purposes of God. So lying is equal to murder because it's all rebellion against God. However, murder is far worse because of the social consequences, and we're attacking the image of God. So in one sense, all sin is equal, and in another sense, it is not.
Right. Okay. Well, I got no other questions. If anybody else wants to ask Darth a question.
I mean, for example, if you slap somebody on the face, that's nowhere near as evil as, let's say, hitting them with a bat. And hitting somebody with a bat is nowhere near as worse as, let's say, murdering somebody. Or let's say murdering one person is nowhere near as bad as being a serial killer. Or we would say serial killing is nowhere near as bad as being a Rosie O'Donnell fan. There's all degrees of evil.
Hey, Darth, I have a question. Someone in the chat said we don't require abiogenesis to teach evolution. Does the theory of evolution?
No, they don't, but it's implied.
So it doesn't presuppose.
Okay. It's not required, but why is it that abiogenesis is almost always referenced in textbooks? Okay. It's operating under the same principle. Okay. Abiogenesis is operating under the same principle as evolution is, that we have a complex state that has functionality, and that complex state of functionality can be explained by purely naturalistic and materialistic occurrences. So technically, evolution is not the same as abiogenesis, but that's pushing it, okay? Technically, they're right. Abiogenesis is not the same thing as evolution. But in principle, they're advocating the same thing, is that this complex functional thing arose from purely materialistic, mechanistic processes. Did you guys hear that Hillary Clinton is considering running again?
When was this?
A couple days ago.
It's her time this time, I guess.
Well, the funny thing is, Donald Trump, when he heard about this, he was rushed to the emergency room from acute pain of slapping his knees from laughter.
At this point, I'd welcome Barack Obama.
Hillary Clinton versus Joe Biden.
You mean the guy who gave unimaginable billions of dollars to the world's largest sponsor of state terrorism, who are trying to develop nuclear weapons?
Aside from foreign policy, which I honestly believe that Joe Biden is doing a worse job at least domestically, it wasn't a total shit show until his last term.
Well, that's what happens when the Democrats collude in multi-year planning to facilitate stealing the election by getting in fake votes in multiple swing states, and you do it ahead of time, knowing well that your candidate is senile. I don't mean that as an insult. It's very clear that everyone knows that he has the onset of early senility.
What are you basing this off of?
Listening to Joe Biden talk.
Oh, do you have like an expertise in this subject?
I don't need to. Okay, given that I'm a 60-year-old man, I can see the onset of cognitive impairment. It's obvious when you're listening to him talk. He's cognitively impaired.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that being a 60-year-old man gave you the medical expertise necessary to diagnose someone.
Okay,
Not
that
even
wasn't my
close to too far away.
that wasn't my claim. So don't lie. Being that I'm 60 years old, how old are you?
23.
Okay, so I'm not quite 3 times your age. Okay, so what that means is I've had vastly more experience dealing, observing, interacting with the elderly than you have. Okay.
Darth, could you repeat that because
Now
you broke up for me?
I said I'm more than double your age, and I've had vast more experiences in observing directly and indirectly elderly people in various stages of cognitive decline than you have. Now, you attacked a straw man. Nowhere did I claim that I had medical expertise. Okay? So that's a straw man. And another issue is one need not have medical school training to observe the signs of cognitive decline, especially when it's commensurate with somebody of his age. Now, I'm going to ask you a simple question. Have you listened to a number of Joe Biden's verbal interactions that are not pre-scripted of him merely reading a script in front of a microphone?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Have you noticed any cognitive impairment?
No, I have not.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. You can leave my room now. Okay. When people lie to me, okay, then they get kicked out of the room. For him to say that he notices no cognitive impairment is just an absolute lie. It's amazing how people lie with abandonment. People in the room, if you're not talking on the microphone, mute your microphone. That's to you, perm blood. I mean, can you believe that guy? He hasn't noticed any examples of cognitive decline when Joe Biden speaks extemporaneously. I mean, what a liar.
I mean, it's safe to assume that most people in this Discord voted for Joe Biden.
What's your position on Q?
You're talking about QAnon?
Yes, sir.
From what little I know, I think they're crackpots. And I don't mind people disagreeing and vigorously, but I mean, really, you're gonna stoop this low and lie and saying you haven't noticed any cognitive impairment when Joe Biden speaks unscripted? Really? I mean, are you that low that you have to lie to me when you know full well that I know you're lying?
Hey, Darth.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening. Did he die?
Maybe.
See, I was watching Joe Biden in the news when that guy wasn't even a twinkle in his father's eye. Okay?
Like when he said he didn't want to send white kids to the jungle.
So yeah, what do you think
The
about
funny
Joe
thing
Biden?
is, there's almost complete radio silence, if you will, about that. It's crystally clear that Joe Biden is suffering from the early stages of cognitive decline because of his age, and yet when it came to Ronald Reagan and even Donald Trump, the news media would fabricate that both of them had mental problems or cognitive decline. I mean, the news media, with few exceptions, is totally corrupt and bankrupt. They are just simply now arms of the Democratic National Party.
Supposedly, he read the wrong answer card to a question that was given to him about gun control yesterday. And he
I didn't hear
answered.
about it.
He answered by saying, "We're going to be focusing on solving infrastructure problems." Something along the lines of. He was asked, "What are you guys going to do about solving gun control policies around the U.S.?"
Yeah.
And his
Why
answer
is it?
was,
Yeah.
"We're going to be fixing infrastructure." Yeah, he read the wrong.
Why is it? Why is it that he has to show up with 3x5 cards? Why is it that when he shows up on even a comedy show, like with that piece of garbage Stephen Colbert, that he can't even get on a show like that without 3x5 cards in front of him?
I have a question to Darth Dawkins.
Yeah, speak a little louder, please.
So I know it's a silly question, but do you prefer Trump or Biden? Who do you prefer?
I'm sorry for the delay. I'm just working.
Oh,
I did not want Donald Trump to be the nominee. I thought he would be a liberal Republican, and much to my surprise, he changed my mind. Are there some things I disagree with him on? Yes, but he won me over.
what do you disagree with him?
Certain public statements that he's made about homosexuals. Okay. But Joe Biden has always been an idiot ever since he was in his early days of the Senate. He cheated in law school. He has most of you are too young to know this. Joe Biden has a long history of getting caught at just outright lying. Okay. Now, all politicians from time to time will get caught lying. Okay. But Joe Biden has such a deep and wide and long history of lying. It's and by the way, I'm not even making this up. Okay. The guy just out of a habit just lies. Okay.
Yeah.
You know. The only thing worse having to suffer with this senile guy in the White House is that we're going to have to suffer when he croaks with a presidential funeral, just like they're going to have for Bill Clinton. That's going to be nauseating.
Yeah. So, what do you think about homosexuals?
I think they're going to hell just like non-homosexuals. They need to repent and turn to Jesus Christ as their Savior.
What do you think about Christians who claim they're gay and also Christians at the same time?
Yeah, they're delusional.
Yeah.
Okay, Kolos, you're unmuted. I just checked your message. It showed. Give me a second. Chode is not here. Spike, let's see. I apologize if I didn't check the messages. I'm working.
What is your definition of God?
Do you mean a minimal definition, or do you mean
Yes, sir. Basic.
a more robust one? Well, my minimal definition,
just very basic.
A very basic definition of God is that which is the supreme being who is eternal, without beginning, non-dependent, non-derivative, and is the creator and sustainer of all things that are not himself. And he is a mind. So basically, God is the supreme being and creator that is a mind. Okay, that would be a minimalist presentation. Beyond that, my definition of God would be the definition of the Christian God, that he has all great-making properties, which include those properties that the God of the Bible has revealed about himself in the Bible.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But when I'm dealing with atheists, before I attempt to show them that the God of the Bible exists, I first have to annihilate their belief in the coherence and intelligibility of atheism, which will require starting with a minimalist definition of God, because atheism is the disbelief in all gods, not some gods. Excuse me.
What do you think about Islam?
Islam is simply a perverted derivational cult of a 7th century Arab who was bloodthirsty, and it's a piss poor imitation of the Christian worldview. It's easy to see that he was making this crap up. It is easy. The only people who can't see it are the Muslims, because they're blinded by their dogma. When there are glaring contradictions and inconsistencies within Islam.
Yeah. So what do you think about Judaism?
Contemporary Judaism is a rebellion against God for not accepting his revelation about his incarnation in the person of Jesus Christ as the promised Messiah. So they're in rebellion against God, and in their rebellion, they have fallen into a form of idolatry, because they espouse that God is Unitarian rather than multi-personal in unity. And so when you believe in a Unitarian God that is not multi-personal, then this runs into philosophical and theological problems.
So if you had to choose between Islam and Judaism, what would you choose?
Well, I think that. All right, hold on a second. I'll be right back. I got to take a phone call. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Jeff. Perma-muted Jeff. Oh, shit.
Let's go back just to have a night shift.
Nice. When you going to get a real job, Jeff? Stop traveling the world.
I'm not traveling anymore. I'm in one spot. I work as a nocturnist now.
Oh, good for you, man. What did you say you were? A nocturnist? Oh, shit, you took off.
When he comes back, bro, I just want to say that a person named Ali Ann, she keeps messaging me, bro, and she keeps saying asking Darth if he's gay, and I have a screenshot of that. Like, you know, she trying to troll, and like, you know, now she's deleting everything, but I got a screenshot, and you know, if you can like, if you can like ban her from this channel, it will be good. Yeah, I'll just send the screenshot to Mr. Darth because we have no intention to talk to trolls around here. Right? What is he? No, not this one. Like, bro, this female, like, get the fuck out of my face. Don't you have, like, a fucking sandwich to make? Dumbass. Oh. Do this. Oh. Talk then. Why you scared to talk, though?
So Joe Biden versus Hillary Clinton, is that what we're looking at?
We did Joe Biden against Trump.
No, he won't be running again because they're going to write on his 3x5 cards, "I will not seek nor receive the nomination of the Democratic Party," which he'll be barely able to read off of his 3x5 card.
I seen him read a teleprompter and it said end of message, and he literally read out end of message.
Hey Darth, I sent you a
Not
screenshot
good.
in DMs of this person keep trolling and asking me to ask you if you're gay. And like, it's not funny, you know, like, why would you be gay? And like, can you ban her maybe from this, obviously?
I'm a happy person. Why would she think that I was sad?
Yeah, she just asked me, like, ask him if he's gay. Like, what? Like, it's not even funny. Why would I ask him that question?
What was the screen name? What was the screen name?
LEN. You see, she has like a purple like picture. She's clearly a troll. She doesn't even want to, like, you know.
Yeah, LEN. Why are you trolling?
Yeah. She's not gonna talk, obviously, but.
Oh, that's okay. Then I can banish her from the room. She won't be able to get back in on this account. So why are you trolling, Len?
Yeah, I haven't sent you the screenshot in DMs.
Banish her.
She's not talking.
Kalima.
Well, if I wasn't working at the moment, I would ban her right away. But because I'm in a good mood and I'm happy.
Yeah.
You feeling good today, huh?
For the moment.
For the moment, right? Nice. It's one of those days, huh? How's the weather at where you were from?
Well, there's air I can breathe.
Perfect.
Well, I'd be more talkative, but I'm trying to get some stuff done here.
Darth, she keeps asking me questions. Like, she says you're a fake Protestant. Like, what?
Glock, there's a brand new technology
Yeah, I'll just
invented.
block her. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no place for trolls around here. What do you think about Mr. Batman and Mr. Keith?
I think Mr. Batman is unhinged.
Really?
I literally have no interaction with Mr. Batman. So if I do come in contact with him, what should I look for?
I wouldn't. Listen. You know, if you throw breadcrumbs out on your front lawn, you're going to attract pigeons.
Right. This is the pigeon place.
What do you think about Mr. Keith, the very recent chapter?
I don't know who you're talking.
Oh, well, that's Mr. Batman's friend.
Oh, Mr. Kit.
Yeah.
I agree with a certain amount of stuff that he says. He's a pretty smart guy. There are some things we disagree on. We've locked horns a couple of times, but we mostly get along.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm getting messages now.
Hey, Darth.
I get them.
Darth, you there?
I'm listening, but I'm working, so there may be a delay in my answering.
That's all right. Did you know Jason Family Man is a vegan?
Holy moly.
All right, give me his username. I'll ban him.
Oh, wow, really? That's pretty messed up.
I'm being sarcastic.
Lynn messaged me and said that he's lying. I don't know.
Yeah, lying, and I have a screenshot of her, and I sent it to Mr. Darth Dawkins. But yeah, lying my ass.
There you go. Backed up. So
We all know what a liar Glock is. He's feverishly photoshopping these to impugn somebody else. That's what he wastes his time on, right?
Yeah, why would I Photoshop it on you, Lynn? Like, why would I waste my time on you?
Because you're a horrible person, Mr. Glock.
No, I mean, Mr. Darth. I'm trying to keep it up.
Whenever I hear the words horrible person, you know what comes to mind?
What?
Rosie O'Donnell.
got him. Fucking Rosie. Jesus. What a mess. I didn't work out for you, Patty, did it?
What?
That didn't work out too well for you, did it?
What didn't?
The gaslighting.
How did I gaslight? You're vegan. That's not a gaslight. It's the truth. What? Do you understand what gaslighting is?
I don't think you do.
Do you understand that gaslighting is like making someone
Bringing up the
believe?
subject. Yeah, bringing up a subject that
No,
had nothing
that's
to do
not
with it.
gaslighting. What you're referring to is like trying to start a fight. Like, yes, I was trying to do that, but like that's not what gaslighting is.
And of all the things that you think pissed Darth Dawkins off about me, you think the vegan thing would work? See,
Oh,
what
I
you
just
should have
think it's
said, what you should have
hilarious.
said is the Bible is actually a flat Earth text.
No,
So then he probably
I
would get
just
pissed off about
no,
that.
Jason. I just think it's absolutely hilarious, Jason. By the way, I just got
So
off
what?
work working at a farm messing with piglets that
Nice.
I'm totally going to eat later.
That's psychotic as fuck. Nice Canaanite talk. Well, those piglets will clog your arteries, and you'll be
Hey, Patty.
obsolete soon.
Yes.
I appreciate that quote you gave me from Aristotle the other day. How did you come across that?
I came across it just via previous study. I wanted to know how far back understandings of or even hypothesis of natural selection was, and it turned out Aristotle had thoughts about it.
Great quote, though.
I'm really happy, even though we didn't get along or we really harshly disagreed. I'm really happy that you're still retaining the quote and that you're looking back at it.
No, that was a great quote. That was a great quote. It was where Aristotle made a kind of foreshadowing of the concept of natural selection.
Yeah. I'm glad we. I'm glad you.
But the idea of natural selection, and when I say natural selection, I don't mean with a capital NS representing evolution. Natural selection is just it's common sense. That the offspring of certain creatures that may have certain traits that are more functional will lead to survivability and reproducibility. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket surgeon to think of that.
Well, then we both agree on that, and I'm glad we agree on that.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we can sharply disagree, and I can even momentarily get angry, but I think overall, I mean, I don't dislike you.
Good.
He will remain after the Great Purge.
the Great Purge.
The Great Purge. Darth, does the Bible say the Earth is flat?
No, that's ridiculous.
No? Darth, does the Bible say that we need to be vegan?
No.
Does it say that we should eat animals?
It says that we're permitted to eat animals. After the flood, God gave the permission to eat animals because the Earth's environmental conditions drastically changed, and the predatory cycle of animals, I believe, vastly increased. And due to the lower amount of available vegetation to eat, that eating the animal flesh was a way of keeping people alive. Okay.
Huh. I thought it was the opposite. I thought before the flood that they were eating animal flesh.
No.
Because there was no vegetation. Only what was manna from heaven?
Well, they could have been, but we only hear that God sanctioned it to Noah after the flood. Okay, so somebody could have been eating stuff. The Bible says the reason for the flood was that the widespread and devastating wickedness of humanity. I mean, it was so bad that God said, "Okay, I'm giving you all an early departure."
Bye-bye. What makes a person wicked?
Wickedness is well, there's different levels of wickedness, but basic wickedness is that you're a sinner against God. That's what makes you wicked. That's what makes me wicked. It's what makes everybody wicked. But there are also degrees of wickedness. Like you could be just a everyday sinner, but who's good to your wife and kids and your dog. You could have somebody who steals pencils from their workplace, and then somebody who shoplifts, and then you could have somebody who's a mugger, and then you could have, let's say, somebody who commits violence against other people, and then you could have somebody who, let's say, is a rapist, and you have somebody who's a murderer, then you have serial killers, and then you have the highest level would be the Rosie O'Donnell and Hillary Clinton types.
Got him. A nice setup.
Well,
so the murderers and the killers.
It's in a hierarchy.
Rosie. So murderers and killers was the worst sin.
Well, I mean, is there any human on the planet who knows who she is who would dispute her being at the absolute pinnacle of that hierarchy?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Oh, yeah, actually, I think there would be, which is sad. I think there is some people that would defend that person. So, yeah, gross. I wouldn't know. I understand. So, murdering and killing and raping, top of the sin list, huh?
No, being Rosie O'Donnell and Hillary
Yeah,
Clinton.
yeah. Other than that one, but if you're not that, then
You know what's
murdering
funny?
and raping.
It's so funny when I listen to these dumb as a bag of rocks atheists who, I mean, it's so stupid. It's beyond belief that I'm hearing grown adults say this, but they try to impugn God as committing genocide. I mean, this is how dumb these people are. Okay, they're
How
just
so?
dumb. Because genocide is simply killing people simply and only because of their nationality or their ethnicity. When we look when God killed large numbers of people, it was never genocide. It was, for example, when God ordered the killing of the Canaanites and the Amalekites. The Old Testament makes it very clear that these people were extremely evil in their practices.
Yes.
So much so that God decided to wipe them all out, and down to the very children. People say, "How could you kill children?" Well, what if it's a case that among their evil practices that they were engaging in such incestuousness that it produced terrible malformations within the genetic code that could spread to other people groups and cultures. And in order to stop this, he had to eliminate all life. Okay.
Hitler also said that the Jews were bad people and they hurt Germans, so he genocided them.
Okay.
Tell
So
about some of the rituals the Canaanites did.
So the idea of accusing God of genocide, it shows you the infantile intellectual skills of your average atheist apologist. I mean, it's just abysmally bad.
Wait, it's apologist to accuse someone of genocide? Isn't that apologist to defend someone of genocide? So if I were
I said atheist apologists, more commonly found on YouTube.
Oh. Well, but you are then a genocide apologist, right? Because you defend God's actions, right?
Okay, are you trying to impugn God with committing genocide?
No, not really, no.
Okay. But what I'm saying is it's a stupid mentality to characterize that way. But because they have such a hate fetish for the God of the Bible, they will seize every opportunity to smear and slander the God of the Bible because of their hatred for him. I mean, their hate fetish for the God of the Bible is so clear and so pronounced. Matt de la Bloviator serves as a really good example. He said, even if Jesus Christ were real, I still wouldn't worship him. It doesn't get any more psychotic than that. Okay? I mean, if Jesus Christ was real, he is everything his self-identity claims indicate, then it would be insane not to worship such a person or entity. It would be insane.
Why does he think that?
Because he has a hate fetish for the God of the Bible. You see, a lot of these.
Oh, he's like not worthy of worship. That's his.
Because
like the Hitchens God is not great thing.
Oh yeah, exactly. Okay, and it's really, really intellectually bankrupt. Okay, I'm not saying it's intellectually bankrupt just because I'm a Christian. It's just intellectually bankrupt upon analysis. How can you say if Jesus Christ was real, if everything that he says about himself, that he's always truth revealing, he's the Lord of glory, he's entirely righteous in everything that he does, even in things that we may find distasteful and not understand how it is righteous, good, and just, okay, then to say that I wouldn't worship him is a form of insanity, because now you're exalting your own reasoning capacities over an omniscient and entirely righteous God. So it's insane to say something like that.
It's like
But if you
straightforwardly
find
a
it,
contradiction,
but if
right?
you,
Like you
but if you
can't
find it
say
not,
that yes, I grant that the God of the Bible exists and is fully righteous, and say I won't worship him on the basis that he's not righteous.
Yeah.
This is just a contradiction.
But if you, yeah, I mean, like if you find it not righteous, why the fuck would you worship it in the first place, right?
No, that makes sense. That if you think it's not righteous, you won't worship. That chain totally makes sense.
Yes.
The thing that the contradiction is saying, yeah, okay, let me grant for the sake of argument that God is righteous. You can't have that attitude along with the attitude that God isn't righteous. That's like a contradiction. You're not accepting that God is righteous or that Christ is righteous.
That's what I'm not getting. So it would be valid to not worship him if you don't believe he's righteous, right? But if you know that he's righteous,
you'd have to think that either the God of the Bible isn't that, like, the thing that you'd be granting existing isn't like the God of the Bible, right? Because the God of the Bible is righteous and all that sort of thing. You'd have to say that the thing that exists did a bunch of the stuff that the God of the Bible did, like all this killing, but whenever this God, this existing thing, talked about whether it was righteous, it was like lying, right? So like those parts of the Bible aren't true, but I'll accept the other parts, and then those other parts
you're spot on.
demonstrate that it's unrighteous.
Yeah, it's basically not an internal critique.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another way of saying I don't think the God of the Bible is righteous. You might as well just make that argument.
No, so. but you see, Matt the Obliviator said, even if Jesus Christ were real, and he's not talking about merely the historicity of Jesus of Nazareth. He's talking about all of the identity claims that are ascribed to him by himself and the apostles within the New Testament. If all that were true, he says, I still wouldn't worship him. Okay, that's insane. It's a form of temporary insanity. But then again, Matt the Obliviator, who claims that he's really good at reasoning, he really isn't. He's just good at talking and bloviating and spewing atheist cliches. This is a guy who proclaims he's an atheist, but that he just lacks belief in God. He's suspending judgment about the existence of God. Does anyone in this room actually believe that Matt the Obliviator is being truthful, that he simply suspends judgment about the existence or non-existence of God?
That would be an agnostic, not an atheist.
And to sit there and say, well,
atheist, so
please, I want to vomit every time I hear that internet atheist cliche. Okay, this is nonsensical when we use the standard terms of the room. Words of the room. Does atheist refer to the denial of God, sir?
No.
What does it refer to?
Yes, it does.
No. Don't please don't. Okay, listen to me. So, is disbelief merely suspending judgment, or is disbelief the denial of the existence of God?
It's neither, I think.
Okay. Stop right there. How old are you?
It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter, because if you're a grown adult, then you have some critical thinking skills problems. If you're a teenager, we can give you the benefit of the doubt, because you just made a big blunder. Okay, are you a legal adult?
Okay, I'm not going to tell you. Can you explain to me?
Well, then I'll assume you're a 16-year-old. Okay, and I'll treat you as
sure.
such. Okay?
I'm 17. I'm 17. So,
okay, all right. So you're lacking in critical thinking skills. Okay, doesn't mean that you're stupid for your age. It's just due to your lack of experience in it. Would you not overtalk me, please? I'm explaining it to you. Okay, there's only two positions that you can take on the existence of God. You can affirm the existence of God, and you can deny the existence of God. If you don't choose either, okay, you are withholding judgment. Okay. Do you understand?
Oh, you mean judgment? Okay, yeah, sure. Withholding judgment on the existence of God.
You are withholding or suspending judgment as to the affirmation or negation of the proposition.
Huh? Okay, yeah. Okay, I
Okay.
understand.
So atheism, is atheism the denial of God, or is atheism the suspension of affirming or denying?
Yeah, it's the neglect to even make the judgment, sure.
Are you saying atheism is the suspension of a judgment about the existence and non-existence of God?
It doesn't make a judgment.
Okay, so atheism is the suspension of a
disbelief.
judgment as per. Can you listen? Do I sound like I'm not educated?
That.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen to me.
No.
Why do you think I asked the question? Because you keep on bickering with me like you're a 16-year-old or 17-year-old at the cafeteria table when I'm an old man. Okay.
I don't care how old you are.
Okay. Well, sometimes age matters. Sometimes life experiences equate. Hey, you know what? Hey, you can fuck off. You're now out of the room. Okay. Why do you think I asked him how old he was? Why do you think I asked him out? Because he's exemplifying he has the mentality of a teenager, which he finally admitted that he is. He's 17 going on 12. And there's only so much of that bullshit that I'm going to tolerate.
Well,
now, okay, yeah, I kicked you out of the room. Okay, why are you back in here?
Because I would wish to continue.
I kicked you out. Hey, little boy, I kicked you out of the room because you're behaving like a 12-year-old. You're 17 years old and you're behaving like a 12-year-old.
Sure.
Okay?
Do you wish to continue the conversation?
I wish to continue the conversation, but not with a 17-year-old who's acting like a 12-year-old. Are you going to stop behaving like a little child?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, good. Now, is atheism the suspension of the judgment as per that God exists or does not exist? Do you suspend judgment on either proposition?
It's neither of them.
Okay, okay. See, this is why I asked you, listen to me carefully. This is why I asked you how old you are. It wasn't to ridicule you. It was to give you, okay, you know what? Okay, listen, you can fuck off, okay? Don't come back in here again or I'll ban you.
Toxic. It's tough, Darth. It's tough times in the world.
Okay, I told you not to come back in. Welcome to my ban house.
Oh, that's me talking.
Now you lose the privilege of coming in and listening, dum-dum.
Got any weekend plans, Darth?
Not at the moment. If I get a call from Giada De Laurentiis, I may go out to dinner with her.
Nice.
Do you know who that is?
I don't. Who's that?
Look, she's an Italian chef.
What's the name?
Giada De Laurentiis.
Oh wow, I almost spelled her name right. Oh yeah, she's cute. She's Italian?
Yes.
Nice.
Her grandfather was Dino De Laurentiis, the famous movie producer.
Oh wow. I have a hot date tonight. But she's not a world-renowned chef.
No, she's not available. I think she has a boyfriend.
She's 50 years old. Holy crap, dude. There's actually a girl at my university that looks just like this person.
Yeah, she looks good for her age. I was at one of those warehouse places shopping one time, and there was a big crowd. And it turns out that I'm like, what's the crowd? They go, oh, they got a chef signing books. And I said, who? And they go, Giada De Laurentiis. So I went, oh, I got to see what she looks like in person. And she looks as good in person as she does, in her TV spots.
Wow.
Not all these celebrities look that good, you know.
Like
Some
Kimmy
of them
K.
look. Some of them. Oh, please. She used to be beautiful. Now she looks like a mannequin.
It's because she is.
You know, she's trying to appear black. You know, she puts on makeup to change her skin tone, to change the color of her lips.
She. Have you seen the? Are you familiar with South Park at all?
I know of it. I've never really watched it. I've seen clips.
I should show you a clip of where their rendition of Kim Kardashian is actually quite hilarious.
It's amazing that somebody can amass such a large fortune for doing nothing.
This might bring you joy.
All right, I'm going to be listening in, but I really can't talk because I have to finish some work here. But I'll be listening.
Do you mind if I ask you a quick question before, or do you need to? Should I save it for another time?
Sure, go ahead.
I was just wondering if you have an argument for God existing that doesn't beg the question or affirm the consequence.
Are you the same bimbo that I talked to the other day?
I've actually never talked to you before.
Okay. Hold on a second. I could just simply say God's divine manifestation implies his existence. That manifestation is apparent, therefore he exists.
But doesn't the second premise there beg the question again?
No.
Like,
no. Which does that there is a manifestation that implies God?
yeah, the manifestations implying he exists. Because you're saying
No,
you're including his existence.
if I said okay, if there is a divine manifestation, if there's a divine manifestation that implies his existence, then he exists. There is such a manifestation that implies God's existence, therefore he exists. The divine manifestation would necessarily imply. It wouldn't be like if it was raining outside, there'll be water on the street. There's water on the street, therefore it's raining. That would be affirming the consequence. Excuse me. So what's interesting is you ask me for an argument for God. Okay, is it because you don't believe in God?
I feel like what you just gave though,
You're not answering. You're not answering my question.
Sure.
You're not. Okay, you're dodging my question on purpose.
Well, I mean, your answer to my question is not sufficient.
Hey, Sunshine, we'll try it one more time. I asked you a question. I expect an answer to my question. You asked me a straightforward question, and I straightforwardly answered you. Did I not?
Yeah, you did. That's fair.
Good. You going to show me the same respect?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're asking for an argument for God. Is that because you do or don't believe in God?
I don't believe in God.
Okay, what's your argument that God doesn't exist?
I don't really have one. I just don't personally have.
Oh, okay. So you insist on a rationale for God, but when you believe in not God, you embrace it without a rationale. Why do you have a double standard?
I probably do have a double standard.
You do.
But
you see, off the top of my head, because I'm not trained in modal logic, okay, I might word something poorly, okay? May not word it precisely correctly, right? And then people can jump all over it and say that it's affirming the consequent. No. See, in logic and in debate and things like that, there's something called the principle of charity, okay? The fact of the matter is, the people who say something like that is they request for this kind of argument because they don't believe God exists. So what they're really saying is an omnipotent God cannot reveal himself in such a way that we can know that he exists. That's what's really behind the question.
I mean,
But I guess I don't understand why you think that argument begs the question. It sounds
Here,
like you
I'll go over it
disbelieve the
again.
second premise.
I can tell you why.
I could just simply say this: if God exists and he manifests himself, and the manifestation, that manifestation necessarily implies his existence. Okay, this is the first premise. If God exists and he manifests himself and the manifestation necessarily implies his existence, then he would exist. Premise 2, there is a manifestation that necessarily implies his existence. Therefore, he exists. There's no problem there.
Well, I think she didn't accept premise 2.
I have someone at my door.
But that doesn't make the argument question begging. You just want a further argument
how
for the
do you
second.
know it is real? Basically,
That's
the manifestation.
That's just questioning the second premise. Just give an argument. You just need to ask for that argument for the second premise. I don't know that that's question begging.
I don't think it's begging the question, but yeah, that's what she meant by that.
Yeah, I think that's what she meant.
Argument that he gave me, he was saying that the second premise included his existence. He exists.
Well, the way he just phrased it, the first premise included that God existed, but the way he said it originally was there is a manifestation which entails that God exists, and so there's a kind of manifestation that if it occurs, then God exists. That kind of manifestation does occur, therefore God exists. So you could question the first premise and say, no, there aren't any kinds of manifestations that would entail that God exists. Or you could question the second premise and say, sure, maybe there are some manifestations that entail that God exists, but none of those actually happen.
Is homosexuality degenerate?
According to the Bible, yeah.
In general, is it abnormal? Is it degenerate?
What do you mean in general?
Take away the biblical understanding. How about from an evolutionary standpoint or naturalistic standpoint?
It's literally degenerate because it doesn't lead to generative consequences, right? There's no offspring, so in that sense, it's literally degenerate.
Yeah.
Do you think being sterile makes you degenerate too?
Sterility is also degenerate, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So is menopause.
I think using Discord is degenerate.
I just say
strange use of the word degenerate.
Homosexuals are basically degenerates. So,
as far as Discord, you could be having babies, but you're right here wasting time, right? That's degenerate.
I'm actually working right now.
That's degenerate.
Instead of having babies?
I'm going on a date later. Leave me alone.
You're gonna have babies then or no?
I don't have sex before marriage.
Do you think this guy's gonna close the deal?
I'm not having sex, brother. Relax.
Yeah,
it's a
I don't
first
think
date.
that's up to you, though.
Yeah, hey guys, if you want to trash talk about sex, take it to another room. Yeah, remember how people are trying to parse my reasoning for God and say I'm committing fallacies? It's the same thing with that Alex Malpass did with Matt Slick. Alex Malpass is an atheist and has a PhD in philosophy, and Matt was giving a transcendental argument that God exists because I won't repeat it word for word, but that the not God world can't provide the grounds for intelligibility. God does. And Alex Malpass said that when Matt said not God, the not God means God. But it would only mean that in certain semantic constructions. But when Matt said not God, he was not negating the not God world. He was saying that the not God world cannot account for the laws of logic. Okay? So even somebody with a PhD in philosophy can misrepresent a formalization or argument for God.
Yeah.
Okay,
especially
so
when you're putting it in natural language.
Right. So when you put it into modal logic, not God can mean more than one thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing happens with and or. Like sometimes when we say or, we mean exclusive or. Sometimes when we say or, we mean inclusive. Right. So you say like super salad, you mean like one or the other, pick one.
Yeah. Or, for example, you could talk about as disjunction, where it may or may not be an exclusive disjunction.
Exactly.
Right.
But both of those are represented by the same English word or.
Yeah. Right. So not God in the reasoning that Matt was giving did not mean the negation of not God as existing. Okay. So in modal logic, like in mathematical symbols, not God would equal God. But that's not how Matt Slick was using it. He was saying the not God world cannot account for the laws of logic, which is not the same thing as not God equaling God.
Yeah, part of this is because the only kind of logic that this is something that's really strange coming from like a mathematical background. The kind of like debate community focuses so much on simple propositional logic that they don't get into like predicate logic or like second order logic, which is really strange because like in your example, you could be negating a predicate instead of negating a term. But like they only use these like super simplistic first order logic, simple propositional logic, instead of even looking at predicates, which is really strange. Like when ask yourself insists on being provided syllogisms, those have to be in this super simple.
Is vastly more education. Is my mic working?
No.
Sure is.
Okay. He has vastly more education and understanding on modal logic, symbolic logic than I do, okay? But he was using that to try to bamboozle me with his bullshit, okay? And the proof of the pudding is he would keep on coming back into other servers, trolling me, not only by himself, but his groupies from his server. So what does that show you about his mentality? I mean, just to use the Matt Slick situation as an example, after Malpass tried to set Matt straight, there were numerous videos by atheists doing a party and a victory dance of how PhD atheist Alex Malpass smoked him. You know, but upon careful analysis, it turns out that he didn't. Alex was dealing with an expression that Matt did not intend. Matt may have poorly worded it. Okay, he didn't make it clear the difference between not God, meaning not God world cannot account for the laws of logic, versus not God, which would mean the negation of a not God world. Right? And not one of them picked up on that. All it took me was about a half an hour of listening to it and thinking about it, and then I went back to Matt Slick and we talked about it, and that's exactly, he was not saying not God was equaling God, okay?
I agree that Malpass wasn't being charitable, but how far do you think we can go before we're just giving someone the benefit of the doubt and interpreting their arguments in such a way that makes sense instead of just addressing what they actually said?
Well, it was inexcusable. It's inexcusable for Alex Malpass, and I like Alex Malpass, to see what's something I picked up after listening to it carefully, not having a PhD in philosophy, that the phrase not God can mean more than one thing, especially the way Matt was constructing it. Okay? Matt was saying either God or not God can account for the laws of logic. Okay? Okay?
No, I get you.
Good. Yeah. And then he says, not God can not, I forget exactly how Matt phrased it. You see, that's the problem with semantics. Sometimes statements are univocal and sometimes they're equivocal. And this phrase not God is equivocal. It can mean more than one thing. It can mean the absolute negation of the not God, what is in question, or it can just simply mean that whatever constitutes not God cannot do whatever the following. Right?
So
look, what if I said either Bill or Bob can pick me up after work, and we say not Bob, okay, not Bob, are we okay? All right, let me put it this way: what if we said not Bob, right? What we're saying is the not Bob persona cannot drive you home. It doesn't mean that he doesn't exist. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't think I worded that carefully or properly. All right, okay. So the not Bob. So you've got Bob and Joe. Not Bob. Okay, meant that Joe could not drive you home. Okay.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean Joe doesn't exist.
Well, what I was asking was, so I agree Malpass wasn't being charitable, but what I'm really asking is, did Matt Slick misspeak, or he just wasn't specific enough?
I think both, but I think he wasn't more specific. He should have been more specific. The issue is either God can account for the laws of logic, or the not God world can account for the laws of logic. Okay, so in a God world, God, through his creation and revelatory actions, can account for the laws of logic. I don't think people could really dispute that. How does the not God world account for the laws of logic? How? That's the point that Matt Slick was making. So when Matt Slick said not God, he wasn't using that to be the negation of the not God world, equal, meaning God. He was saying the not God world can't account for the laws of logic. Okay? So not God can mean two different things.
That's not true. Not God is God. It's the same thing. They're equivalent.
You're an idiot. You're a complete idiot. The way Matt was phrasing it when he said not God, it was a truncated statement to mean that the not God world cannot account for the laws of logic. That's what he was referring to. So when he said not God, it was a truncated expression that the not God meant that the not God world could not account for the laws of logic.
Well, if you want to say that, then what he's really saying is not B, C, D, E, F, G, all the other worldviews, and then you'll fall into the problem.
You understand the difference between univocal and equivocal?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, So not God in a response, if somebody is not being extremely precise, can be equivocal. It can mean more than one thing.
Okay, so if you want to say that it's the inductive horn of the argument, then you need to give some kind of
no. What he's saying is, look,
what?
no. But the point what we're discussing is how Alex Malpass either knowingly or inadvertently could not see the equivocal notion of that expression where somebody who doesn't have a PhD in philosophy could see it. What was Alex's excuse?
I guess I see what you're saying, but the not thing means what it means in logic. So if you want to say that it actually means all the other worldviews that aren't Christian God worldviews.
Matt was not trying to argue with in terms of like modal logic, okay, as though rationales are expressed as mathematical formulas, okay. So Matt, what semantically he meant by not God meant not God cannot account for the laws of logic, not the negation of the existence of not God, which would be God.
Okay, then it wouldn't be a true dichotomy if it's not the negation.
What wouldn't be a dichotomy? No, you're not understanding. Okay, you're gonna have to go watch the video. Okay, and to see what Matt wrote. Okay,
so if you want to say
but hold on a second. I can't recall it precisely from memory, but the point is, Matt was contrasting the God world versus the not world God. Yep. God can account for the laws of logic. The not God cannot.
So you got to pick one or the other.
Listen to me. Hold on a second. Is the expression God can account for the laws of logic, right? And suppose we truncate it to God can. And then we have another expression that not God cannot. And suppose we truncate that into an imprecise way to not God, not God. Alex Malpass was capitalizing on the truncated, imprecise representation, which he was undermining something that Matt wasn't communicating. When Matt said not God, what he meant was the not God world cannot. Okay.
Okay, so if you want a true dichotomy, it's got to be A or not A, right?
You're not understanding. It was not negating the entity of not God. What it was negating was the capacity of not God to account for the laws of logic.
Okay, so that's fine. Then that's the inductive way, right? So you're going to have to show a common property between all the not God worlds, right? So you'll fall to the problem of induction. It can't be done logically.
No, sir. They all have a common property that everything universally exists with independence from God.
Okay, so that's just not God then. That's the same as A or not A.
Right, but the point. Wow, are you obtuse?
No, you got to pick one or the other. It's either A or not A.
Dude. I'm really beginning to suspect that you're a troll. Okay, and you know what's a good sign is when people start fast talking. Okay,
fast talking.
What was the central idea that Matt was getting across? Did you watch the video?
I don't know what video you're referring to.
Okay, so you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, I'm trying to speak and you're just interrupting me. So
no, but you're not familiar with Matt's. You're not familiar with Matt's original content, are you?
I didn't see the reason, but I know the argument.
Good. So good. Then no. What was the point Matt was trying to get across?
He was trying to say that only the God world could account for intelligibility. He's trying to give the tag argument and then rule out through logical necessity all the other.
And so what he said when he said not God, was that intending to be the negation of the existence of the not God world?
Yeah, if you want to say it's a true dichotomy, it has to be
wrong. Wow. You know what? Okay, you know what? You can fuck off because it's clear to me that you're just bickering and you're not even listening to me.
Fuck off, so I guess you can just mute me.
You're dishonest. Okay.
If you want to have actual conversation, we can, but that's fine. No problem.
I want. You know what? You're so full of shit. You're a troll. I'm trying to have a
No problem.
conversation with you, but you are bickering.
No, you keep talking over me. It's fine. I'll just go back to bed.
Yeah, hit the road, Jack.
Yeah, let me know when you want to have an actual conversation.
Stop with the bullshitting. I'm 60 years old, which I tell people all the time. I wasn't born yesterday. I know when somebody's trolling. Okay. See, when people are trolling, they start rapid talking. They start multiple times interrupting, which is what you were doing. Okay. You're not even familiar with Matt's original presentation. You didn't even listen to the interaction between Matt and Alec Malpass, but you're giving a commentary on it.
You interrupted, faggot.
Okay.
I think he's giving a commentary because you described it.
Yeah, I already expressed that I did not properly quote verbatim what Matt said. I gave the gist of what Matt meant. You want to know why? Because I personally have talked with Matt Slick about what he meant. And when I asked him questions about what he meant, he affirmed that my understanding was correct, representing what he was thinking and what he was trying to say. So Alex Malpass should have known better, having a PhD in philosophy, to understand that in the way that Matt expressed it, that the phrase not God can mean more than one thing. It's not univocal. Okay? Matt used the phrase not God to mean the not God world cannot account for the laws of logic. Now, what Matt did not mean that not God, which would equal God, okay, right? He said not God, right? It was a very truncated expression of what he was intending to get across, and Alex Malpass should have seen that, but he didn't. Not God meant the not God world cannot. It doesn't mean the negation of the existence of the not God world. Okay? I mean, how many times do I have to say this? I mean, this isn't rocket surgery.
Rocket science.
Rocket surgery. That was.
Oh,
that
it's
was
like a joke. Sorry.
That's right. Rocket surgery. You know, this is not brain surgery. This is not rocket science. Rocket surgery. All right, I'm going to go into radio silence for a few minutes. I got to finish some work, but I'll be listening in.
Well, I guess it's my time to shine.
Huh?
Be a hero, Patty. You can do it.
Yes, so it's time to talk about the origins of corn, squash, and what was the other one? Beans.
That's so uninteresting.
But first, in order for us to talk about corn, squash, and beans, we must first talk about the glories of soil science.
No, I don't think so.
That is a fairly interesting subject.
Soil science begins with understanding the differentiation between dirt and soil. Dirt is the stuff that you don't want in your house because it ends up on your shoes and you bring it into your house. Soil is the culmination of a myriad of different particles in which fills the earth underneath the subsoil or grass.
Tell me about nematodes.
Nematodes are microorganisms that also cause you serious health problems. Told you guys it's my time to shine.
That was so cool.
Patty, does corn prove evolution?
Don't get me banned. Please don't get me banned.
Okay, just wondering if corn proves evolution is true.
Well, I don't know if corn. So corn is interesting because corn is more so. Okay, corn is less so about the adaptation. When we like look at like the growth of corn and the differentiation of corn over time, we're not necessarily looking at adaptations that have taken place, even though there are adaptations, but we're not really looking at that. We're looking at the changes in corn based on the domestication of it. So, like, we're talking about the fact that people specially bred corn to display certain types of favorable characteristics for eating.
So 10,000 years ago, could you tell the difference between corn and grass?
It would be more difficult, but 10,000 years ago, I believe that we did have some cobs.
I think that's when they started. I think that's when they started differentiating them.
Yeah, so you probably would be able to. I would say I would be able to, but many people would not be able to.
Oh, okay.
Is it because you are special or what?
No, it's because corn. So, well, it's because I'm a farmer, and number two, corn started out totally different from how it looks today.
So
Corn used, yeah.
Are
Sorry.
you saying that basically the only types of corn that were allowed to survive were the big cob kinds, and the ones with little cobs the farmers just didn't plant any more of?
Corn, yes, corn was specially bred for specific types of characteristics, and some of those characteristics were large bulbous seed corn.
Wow, and over that period of time, corn changed just because the ones that had the big cobs would get bred more than the ones with the little cobs?
Yes.
Sounds like a selection pressure.
It does
It is
seem...
selection pressure.
Now, are humans natural?
Are humans yes.
Oh, okay, I agree. So what kind of selection pressure would humans be putting on something then?
It would be our own personal desires, but being that humans are natural, they'd be natural selection pressures.
Oh boy. And you're saying that pressure caused the corn to change?
Yes.
Over time?
Over thousands of years.
Oh wow,
Holy
thousands of
moly.
years. Holy moly, Patty. Holy moly.
And ironically, corn, I mean, when you think about it, so horses have evolved over millions of years, but corn has had such an extreme drastic change.
No, we really
over
pushed
just a
that
couple.
one.
Yeah.
So it was like a speed run for corn.
Super. Yeah, it was an absolute speed run for corn. So because corn is such an important crop, right? So if here, I have a great picture for this. I have a picture that's saved on my phone because I'm a fucking nerd about anything.
You are a total agriculture nerd.
Yeah,
We could do watermelons because that one I'm offended by.
Why?
We've made watermelons so much worse.
You know what? Yeah, we have.
Wait,
but
okay,
this is
well,
why.
no, so some people don't know this, right? So I'm 40-something, and I definitely know it. Are you pushing 30, Patty? I'm not sure.
I'm 27, so kind of, yeah.
Okay, you're pushing it. Not there yet. So I don't think you know. Have you ever had a watermelon that looks like a watermelon in that it's see, I'm trying to... Let me back off this a little bit, Patty.
Well, I'm going to be really frank with you,
Okay.
and you're going to hate this about me, but I can't stand the taste of watermelon.
Thank God. Okay. So have you ever had a watermelon that looks like a watermelon in that it's oblong and not circular, had a dark green peel and unedible black seeds?
Yes.
That's the standard watermelon, right?
No, that is not the standard.
In grocery stores.
You can no longer find those watermelons. So the watermelons you can find are of
Patty's
two...
kids.
Hi, Patty's kids. The watermelons you can find in grocery stores are of two varieties now. There are circular, dark-skinned seeded watermelons, like spherical, dark-skinned seeded watermelons called sugar babies, that have no flavor and just sugar.
Yes.
And you can find oblong, light-skinned, seedless watermelons that are called watermelons and have no sweetness.
Sounds
Yeah,
racially
so what
motivated.
you're going to typically find in the store is some sort of like hybridized
Yup.
watermelon that is heavily geared towards size, which means that there's a lot of water content in
Yup.
it, not a lot of sugar. And then the sugar babies, yeah, you're talking about less water, lots of sugar. Well, no, they have a good bit of water, but
They have a
like
good bit
lots
of
of
water. They got a
sugar.
lot of sugar, but they were bred somehow. All of the good watermelon taste is gone from them. So the
So
olden style
yeah,
non-hybridized watermelons that every farmer used to plant were oblong, dark green, and had seeds. Lots and lots of seeds. You
you're
can't find
probably
those
referring
anymore.
Well, you're probably referring to something of like the Georgia rattlesnake
Yup.
varieties. So how big is your backyard?
Not even close. I mean, I maybe could push it, but I wouldn't eat anything that grew in my backyard. I am too close to the Gowanus Canal.
Okay, I mean, you could probably get away with. Well, the good thing about plants is that plants are great at filtration, but like you could probably get away with growing one watermelon. There's a couple different types I would recommend. So there's the Georgia white rattlesnake.
Yup.
There's the Carolina cross. That's a hybridized watermelon with good flavor. And then there's also the Congo watermelon.
Yeah,
That's a good one too.
but you cannot find these in grocery stores.
No, you will not find them in Kroger, Meijer. You won't find them there.
Also, happy belated birthday, Patty, because last time we asked about your age, you said
Uh-oh.
26.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
and my birthday was January 9th.
Aw.
Thank you.
Why are you saying uh-oh, String? Did I do something?
You never are supposed to know with any specificity a woman's age.
Oh, okay.
Well,
She's going to be pushing 30. She's pushing 30 for the rest of our lives.
Exactly. She's eternally 27 now.
You. I'm kind of
No,
excited.
you know it with specificity. Pushing 30 is never false. If you're 60, are you pushing 30?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
No, I'm kind of excited to turn 30 because my goal is by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna own at least 18 acres. That's my goal. At least 20 acres. That's my goal by 30. So, but watermelons have really gone down the shitter over time because
Ease.
I mean, honestly,
it's 100% ease.
It's ease. Yeah, it is. So like, bigger watermelons retain water better, meaning you don't have to water them as much, even though watermelon's very water intensive. Bigger watermelons less likely to be completely savaged by predators because they have they have thinner skin when they're bigger. But
real quick, Patty, are you
What?
going to own the mineral rights to that property also?
I would hope so. I mean,
You have to buy them separately, right?
I don't know anything about owning land. Hmm?
Well, if you strike oil, Patty, let me know. I'm gonna hit you up.
Oh, yeah, I doubt it. I doubt I would ever strike oil because Michigan is a partial wetland state. So there's a lot of
You might
wetland.
strike some snow.
You could be out
I'll
shooting
be
for some
striking
food,
tons of snow.
and up come the ground, come above
Yeah.
you and food.
Yep, and I told myself I would never own cows because like I just thought it was a little too land intensive, but I helped birth a baby calf a couple days ago, and now I kind of want to own cows. So I don't know.
So
owning
wait a second.
cows is
Did the
very
calf,
nice.
Did the calf automatically go on its feet?
No, calves don't automatically go. It takes them about an hour or so.
I don't
But
know
it
if you've
takes them an
seen a
hour.
cow birth, but that shit's got to be pretty traumatic for them.
Patty, can you tell me
I
what
would need a
time
rest
of the
too.
day-
That cow birth was incredible. It was intense. I've
Wait,
never.
Patty, can you tell me what time of the day this calf came about? Was it
Morning.
early morning or late night?
It's about 10 a.m. in the morning. No, probably about 9 a.m. in the morning.
Did it have red hair?
Black.
Damn, almost.
So typically in the wild, for them to survive, they would typically give birth from the hours of 12 a.m. to 4 or 5 a.m. Because they would be worried that the calf would would be vulnerable to
Okay, but you're like referring to you're referring to like cows that are out, beef cows that are out in pasture and left alone. This was a cow that she's 17 years old, and she was having trouble birthing. The calf, it was a bull. She was 2 weeks overdue, and he was breech. So, she wasn't going to have that calf alone. So that would have never happened. We had induced her the day prior, so the calf's legs are finally sticking out around probably about 8:30,
This
and then
involves
around 9:30 we
humanity.
help pull it out.
Is this what you're doing for humanity? Like, was this like a volunteer thing, or was?
I work on a farm, so it's a active farm, which means operations are going on. So we are like breeding animals and processing animals for food. We do all that, and then right now we're also working on a crop production setup.
So why would a 17-year-old cow be giving birth?
Because cows don't stop fucking past after they get 17.
Whoa! Easy with the listen. I'm a very sensitive person. I can't be cursed at like that. I get very
Okay. Well, cows don't stop having sex until after 17. They
How old do they
continue
live?
having sex. Cows can live something like 20, 25 years old, but it's not a pretty old age.
Yeah, they usually die like once they get old and like their teeth stop. Like
Yeah,
their teeth are really
it's
worn
not
down
a
and they
pretty
can't eat
old
anymore.
age.
Stop at 17.
Yeah,
they can't eat anymore, so they just starve to death.
Yeah. So
it's like how every single whale actually dies of drowning.
It's actually kind of funny. I don't know why.
Dude, that's the same with dolphins. Fucking sad.
No, fuck
They
dolphins.
wake up in the ocean, that they
Hey,
die in the ocean.
most of the time in
Awesome.
fishnets too.
Meanwhile, we humans, we die in the air, we die in a volcano, we die in hospital.
In a volcano. Sorry, what? There was one of
just said
those that didn't make sense.
Well,
it would make sense if
for
you were living in the
chasing,
Aztec era.
Well, listen. Thank you very much for chasing Darth away, Patty. Thank you very much. I appreciate.
Wait,
You know,
Darth is afraid of black women?
It was my time to shine.
And why you have to come in here and
It's your time, Queen.
This was my
Hold
time
on.
to shine.
Patty, are you like a cross? And
It's
no,
your time,
you're like
Queen.
the cross of Jesus, and he's the devil.
It's her turn.
You know,
Oh,
Patty,
about castrophobia. Of course it's you.
Darth. I really don't. It's really messed up.
So anyway, right? So yes, plants are not what they used to be. There was a time in which we actually had pretty good tasting plants, and we kind of don't anymore.
Yeah, plants nowadays are really fucking gross, and they're grown for their size rather than their flavor.
Yeah.
Bell pepper.
Well, bell peppers too. Like the
I'm
bell
talking about
pepper,
death.
like the bell peppers, flavor intensity has dropped off the fucking deep
Oh
end.
my gosh. So I finally got to try. So last year when I was, doing crop production, I finally got to try what is called a orange picnic pepper. I had never had an orange picnic pepper before. But it was the most flavorful pepper I had ever eaten. It was sweet. It was almost like eating candy. And I tried to think back to all the times I ever had a pepper bought from a supermarket. And I mean, like, the disappointment, right? Like of the fact that I had been deprived of this orange picnic pepper. It was incredible. It was one of the most
It's
incredible
like having your
peppers
first
I'd ever
orgasm
eaten.
at the age of 30.
Oh.
As a woman.
Maybe not
wait.
that.
We
but-
actually have apples in my supermarket that actually, I think they did this whole like a thing where they actually, they're much smaller than every other apple in the store, but they taste the best.
I tried a true orchard apple. And not that I haven't had them before, it was just a really long time. But like the comparison of the Honey Crisps that we grew, and this was like a Michigan State Honey Crisp, and then the comparison to the ones you grow at the store, it was incredible. Completely different in taste. Completely different. It was sweet. It was it was just amazing. It was completely different. I was pretty irritated after
I'll
that.
tell you what, dude. I love lemons. They're doing a number on my teeth, though. My dentist is bitching at me.
Yes, they are acidic.
Yeah. I know all too well. But at the end of the day, dude, like I fucking have a Meyer lemon tree. Easily the best fucking lemons I've ever had in my life.
I
Like
want a
better.
citrus tree. I really want
Yeah,
one.
they're a real big pain in the ass. I constantly have to like watch like the pH of the soil. Because like they'll go through like a bad year and they'll just put out like little half-ass like lemons that don't even like plump up
Yeah.
right. Looks like a fucking like oh shit, hold on.
I'm gonna
they're talking
be
shit to the
I'm gonna
trees.
be
Looks like
working
a
on
kebab.
I'm gonna be getting some more blueberries once I get my Payflow rerunning because I got a new job.
Hey-o.
I'm gonna
Are
be
you a stripper
getting
now?
no, I'm gonna be getting some hold on, sorry. Downey
Fuck you up with that one.
interested in black strippers confirmed. Anyway, so like
No,
I
just your
oh
career.
god.
Oh,
I want
Okay,
to
shit.
no,
support your
no,
career,
stop.
okay?
Stop.
That's all it
Patty,
is.
the black
No
thing is the power
cringe
thing.
disallowed.
Cringe. So oh, my seeds are down here. I should look through those too. So yeah, I have
Somebody's
my
trying to take a
garden
look at your
plan.
seeds over
Great.
there.
Wait, what?
Watch out.
So I finished my garden plan, and I know one of the things I want to do is I want to buy some more of these like 100-gallon fabric pots. So like they're big pots made out of fabric, so they're really good for moving and stuff. So I want to get some more of those and then get some blueberries because I would really like to grow blueberries at this community garden I'm operating. So, well, it's not really a community garden; it's a church garden. We like feed the congregants stuff.
Patty, I bought
I'd
an
like
NFT
to. I'd like to
today.
see Patty with 20 acres of property.
Patty, I bought
Same.
Patty, I bought
That'd be tight.
I bought an NFT today.
What
Okay.
the fuck?
So
if you got
like
extra money, man, I mean,
I'm gonna fund your token.
I battled the devil a couple days ago. I was battling the devil because like I saw some of these art pieces that people were like putting out as NFTs, and I was like, I literally could go and just like get a phone AI picture generator and then post that and then say it costs this for this NFT and like pretend that it's some sort of like card or something like that.
I'm gonna fund your token, Patty. I'm gonna right click.
What does that mean?
I'm gonna right click on your token.
But I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Want to see my ape?
Yeah, you want to see my ape? I have
Look
a
at
new
my
ape.
ape.
Okay, look
What
at
does
my
any
ape.
of this
that I
mean?
bought.
I see my ape.
Patty,
Look,
look what
I have no idea.
Patty, look at my
I've
ape.
seen your
Look
ape.
what I bought.
You wanna take a look
Wait,
at
I'm
my
sorry,
ape?
Chief. How much did you buy that for?
I don't want to say.
Got a little ape down here.
What
don't
is
say,
wrong
dude,
with
because if you
y'all?
spend more than $1, there's
Wait,
like
so let
fuck,
me get this straight, right?
Uh-huh.
Yo,
If
Patty,
I
check
were-
out my ape.
Oh my god.
Y'all
I
remember
just
that?
I just right clicked the shit out of that ape.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, you
we
posted this
fucking
in the
shit out of
message?
it.
How dare
String,
you?
wait, you bought that string?
I right clicked the fuck out of
Where are
it.
y'all posting it? Where are y'all posting
Save
it?
I'll
image
post it.
as NFT owners mauling and raping.
I can't
Right.
post like the
Wait,
whole
when you say
image.
you right clicked it, does that mean you like just right clicked and saved the picture?
Stole it or
Fuck yeah,
something.
and
He's
now
saying
I
he
own that
stole
shit
it.
too.
I can't
Oh,
post
that's
the whole.
hilarious. I
Well,
get it.
String,
I get it.
actually, it's the contract on the blockchain that you own, not the actual picture.
Oh no. I don't own the contract on the blockchain. I only
Yeah.
own the actual picture.
Yeah, I get it.
He's hoping he can get by with
See,
just a picture.
so like basically what I was thinking about, like, and I had to battle the devil about this because like I was really being tempted into doing this and seeing what happened. So what I was gonna do was I was going to download on my phone a AI picture generator. Well, and basically what the AI does is it just pushes two pictures together into nonsense and makes it look like art, which is what art is anyway. So like
There are
so
already so many
I
people
was
actually doing that.
I was
That's
gonna
like what
I
all of
know
them are doing.
I
So
was
it's
gonna
not a bad thing. I mean,
I
it's what
know
it's the point of NFTs
yes
is just to
thank
get
you
people to waste
I
their
know
money.
thank you I know so like I was gonna post it on to OpenSea and just say to get this thing it costs like I don't know 0.2 Ethereum whatever the fuck and then see if someone bought it. But I had
Just
to battle
make
myself.
a patty NFT. Make a
Well,
patty NFT. You'd make money.
I had to battle myself, right? Because I heard that people were getting in serious trouble for like fraud and shit like that. And I was like, I don't think I want to be a part of this. So I decided not to do it.
Draw
gotta-
one like looks like you. Call it Patty the farmer. Boom.
Just don't be fraudulent. Just give him the
Yeah.
stupid, ugly picture for real.
Yeah, but that's the
It's
thing. I
actually-
don't know how to do any of that. I just know how to post the picture on there. Apparently,
Sounds like
I
you
don't
got
even
half
know.
of it
No,
figured
to
out
be
already.
honest, I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to post things on there. I don't know anything about it. That's why when
Patty,
String says I'm gonna right click, I'm like, is this some sort of mumbo jumbo? Like, is this how you buy it? Like, what?
No, he's saying he's pretty much just saying that he's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I paid 0.4 Bitcoin for that, Patty. It's very important.
Yeah, look,
How much is
you
that?
obviously have a
No,
lot
not
of
0.4
white
Bitcoin. I'm
time
talking
on
about
your hands.
Ethereum. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
How much is that in real money?
Hundreds of dollars. Why did you
Right?
do that?
Really?
Like,
Yeah, fuck it. If you got it, fuck it.
Dollars.
so like you very clearly have a lot of like white time on your hands that I don't have.
Very white time.
White time? You say white time? The fuck is white time?
Well,
It's the
you know,
opposite
it's
of
time
black
that's not
time is what it
otherwise.
is.
Yeah, no, it's
Black
time
time.
that's not otherwise blocked out on your calendar, right, Patty?
Right? Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
okay.
much.
Yeah, white
yeah,
time.
Okay, yeah. I thought you
Listen,
were going something else.
I thought of a really funny thing today.
Oh, what
right?
I meant,
People
I
were
was
bragging
I
about
was
their
making a
basketball
race joke.
skills.
I didn't mean it like that.
Oh
But that
no,
is
I thought
funny.
we were talking about calendars.
Yeah.
No,
She was
that
a
is
race
funny
joke
though.
too.
I
But
only
I
have
was making
Patty's
a race
racist.
joke.
Get her out of here, please. Okay.
I was implying that white people have a lot of time on their hands.
Yeah.
So I was implying.
I also came
Nope,
up with
she
like a
went
new.
mask off. It's over.
It's over now. Patty's mask off.
Sorry.
We have
No,
a
but I
racist
like
on our
the
mod
other
team.
Kill her.
I like the other one too. I'll use that.
Oh, I knew that it was a mask off moment for you. I was giving you the
Okay.
excuse.
He was trying, dude.
I think I just have a not apparent free time. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
So
well,
I
there's
forgot
that
to tell
too.
you guys. I forgot to tell you guys why Pepe got detained a day or two ago.
Oh,
no.
He showed everybody his
Patty,
bulge,
you're
didn't he?
spreading this filth
So
Yeah,
Pepe
he showed
got
everybody
when
his
he
bulge.
threatened me with violence, or a different?
in a godly
totally
channel,
different. Totally
nevertheless.
different.
No
So
shit, we're gonna talk about Pepe's bulge. Let's
so
go.
Pepe got up from the table and Pickle was telling
yeah.
Pepe to do
Yup.
that again. And Pepe comes back, ball swinging in his
Oh,
underwear.
really?
Yeah, and comes back and goes, "You mean like this?" And then shows
God.
everyone that he's in his underwear. So I had to detain him.
Free,
You could see
Did
balls.
you see
free
skin?
balling.
Yeah,
Did
you could see skin. You could see all of his leg and his.
Oh, wrinkly skin.
No, he's like
No,
he's
it's
like what,
winter.
30?
No, sorry. It's winter. Winter
It's
is
winter, isn't it?
clearly boxer briefs time. There's no way you should be seeing more skin on anyone.
He just got detained.
So
God,
wait, so what is the difference? What's the difference between boxer briefs and the other type of underwear? What are you guys
There are
saying?
many
What is
different
underwear?
types. There are many different types of underwear.
Pants. Boxers and pants.
Well, that was British, so don't think about it that way.
Yeah, I just
Shit,
thought
don't bring the
I'd
British
So
bullshit.
if we put briefs and boxers on a bimodal distribution,
No. So boxers are like shorts, like shorts you'd wear
Yeah.
every day, except they're made of much thinner fabric, and for some reason people think they're underwear. Those are
And they got an
boxers.
opening in the front.
Okay? Briefs are tighty whities. You've heard of tighty whities, and you've seen a picture of them, I assume.
Doesn't work for
but,
everybody.
Yeah, like Wi-Fi.
But, like,
so you can-
so
Oh yeah,
as
dude,
a
my
woman-
nutsack is too big for those.
As a
Boxer
woman, oh my
briefs
God,
are like
shut up,
tidy
Darren.
whities with
you
legs.
should get that checked out.
So as a woman who knows absolutely nothing about men, I just use them interchangeably. I think they're all the same.
No, but they're not. And then boxer briefs, which are the
big
right
difference.
kind of underpants to wear during
Yes.
cold months, are briefs with legs that go down to mid-thigh.
This is
Nice.
Spring's best opinion, hands down.
No shit. I can agree with this one totally. This is
So
good
I
stuff.
guess I'm gonna have to look this up because I don't know any of that. Looks
So they
like.
are skin tight, but they go down to a level that you would walk around the house with just them on. And aside from the fact that they've got to fly, you would feel okay with this. It would be like wearing
And if
bike
you're-
shorts.
Oh,
If your
I
balls
see.
came out the bottom of a boxer brief, you have issues.
Okay, you guys are about to hear me break my child's heart and dreams. Shia,
No.
there.
There's no Santa Claus.
We don't have any rainbow
Whoa.
goldfish, so you have to have.
Oh,
these.
no. No.
I want some cheese. I want some cheese.
Wait,
I,
come
too,
here.
want some
What did you
cheese.
say?
I want some
Wait,
cheese, too.
I want some Cheetos.
you want
Oh,
some
I
cheese?
want Cheetos.
Cheetos. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Don't give that
Spicy
baby no
Cheetos?
Cheetos. Don't
Hold
give
on,
that baby no
let's-
Cheetos.
Let's see.
I will
Give
die
her
for
a
that
carrot.
child.
Give her some
Patty.
baby carrots. That's what she needs.
Hold on.
Patty, I will literally die for your child.
Hey, boo. You want?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Come here.
I want to pull
Come
an Angelina
here.
Jolie and
You
adopt her.
sound like you want to die for
Here.
your child. That was
You
weird.
want some Lay's?
Pull a Sandra Bullock and adopt her, and then put her into some kind of sports.
That's what that's what I was gonna say. Is like somebody was like bragging about like their fucking basketball skills, and I was saying like, like studies find that like basketball skills, or people are good at basketball, like when they didn't have a father to teach them how to play baseball.
shit.
God damn, bro.
That's so rude.
I don't like it.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
That's just some white
Oh,
time joke.
that's deep,
You
bro.
can only
That's
come
hard-
up
that's
with that
hurtful.
joke if
Yeah,
your
right,
calendar
right.
has some white time.
God, that's downright hurtful, dude. Jesus.
But is it true?
To be honest,
It's
though, I
not
say
a
that.
true,
About,
though.
I literally say that about every sport. I go, that's for people that can't ride motocross.
Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, the fucking good dad's got the motocross.
Oh, who's
Any dad
messaging
can
me?
teach
I
you.
said
Any dad
something.
can teach baseball,
Did
but
I say
motocross is
something
something
naughty again? Who's messaging me?
What?
Did you
Sorry,
just
the only
add?
time
Oh,
the only time you
abstinent.
get messages is when you do something bad. What?
Yeah, I did
Sorry.
a big
Nobody
fucky
just
wucky
messages
today.
that tell you they love
get
you or anything.
messages. I get messages for simply existing.
Well,
This is
those are
true.
hate.
That's 'cause
Those are
you're
hate
black.
mail. Nobody actually hates me.
Did we get to the
Okay.
bottom of whether God exists or not? That's what I came here for.
God
We
might
did get to the
exist.
bottom
That's
of it.
that's
No,
the
no,
thing.
no. We came to a room-wide agreement. Everyone was on the same page. You missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you missed it. Darth
Yeah,
Dawkins
totally.
Man,
And
I
we
was
can't
like
give you the
looking after my
conclusion at all.
children and doing family stuff and that. So what was
Another
the conclusion
day
then?
of Darth
Maybe,
Dawkins totally owning us.
maybe if you didn't
Well,
go
hold on,
away at
Patty.
exactly
They
the
can't do
wrong
that
time,
anymore.
maybe if
Shit.
you hadn't gone away, maybe if you hadn't gone away at ouch.
Wait a minute.
That was a white time joke.
Oh my god, white people.
Maybe if you hadn't gone away at exactly the wrong moment, you would have seen the skies open up and everyone come to agreement.
There's this little
100%
show, you know what
agreement.
that reminded me of? There's this show called
I
Odd
knew it would
Squad
happen. I
that
knew it
shows
would
up.
happen at some point when I'm not looking. I knew
Of
it
course.
There's this show called Odd Squad that shows up on PBS, and what Stranger said reminded me of this scene where they're talking about this really weird thing that's happening inside the office, and she was like, well, this reason is why the lights keep flickering on and off, and the girl says, I'm not seeing lights flicker on and off, and she said, because you're blinking every time the lights flicker on and off.
Oh, they're gaslighting the shit out of her.
Well, no, she like holds her eyes open and the lights start blinking on and off. It's really funny. Odd Squad, despite being PBS, is funny.
Is that your evidence for God? Blinking lights? Because
No, I just like Odd Squad
This
because
dude
I'm
wants
forced to
answers,
watch it
bro.
with
This
my
guy
kids.
wants answers. He ain't taking no mod squad for.
Why
an
are you
answer. He
messing
wants-
with a pure, perfectly good bullshitting session by
I was
asking
gonna
Patty
say.
about God?
Yes, so God exists because I said he exists.
Checkmate.
How are you gonna
You've got the
find
same
out?
argument
Fuck,
as
is that
Darth.
that
I
new
love
shit?
it. You've been listening to Darth.
Yeah, if P implies
You're
Q,
the student.
and
You're the
Q is
student.
present, therefore
Hold on.
P is implied again
If
somehow.
Q implies P, Q,
Then
therefore
Q,
P,
P.
and that's
Listen,
not
listen
not
here.
affirming the consequent.
Yeah,
That's not
so
affirming the
so if
consequent.
God doesn't exist, then how does P equal NP? Huh? Can you figure that one out?
Exactly.
Well,
Right.
if God,
You can't figure it out,
look,
so
you guys
therefore
don't
he must
understand.
exist.
If God doesn't exist, then how do I pee?
Q. That now,
Shut
Patty,
up,
If God
that
doesn't
was a
exist,
good
then
Q.
because kangaroos have tails.
Are you guys
Come
talking
on, like,
about
really.
that latest
Did you
Tom
guys know
Rabbit
that
video?
kangaroos actually have 3 vaginas?
Yes, we are talking about the fact that Darth continues to affirm the consequent
wombat's
and
got
then
4
pretending like
penises.
it
in every
doesn't
single
exist.
That was
conversation.
hilarious.
Depending on
He's
how
like,
fat a
no,
woman
no,
is, she
this
could
is
have
how it goes. And
several
then
vaginas.
like Tom Rabbit actually
guys,
writes it.
this is how it goes. If God exists, he will manifest X, and X will be indicative that he exists. X. God exists.
Nailed it.
Guys, that's
You
not
see?
affirming the
You
consequent.
see, that's
Come
not
on.
affirming the consequent.
Not even a little bit.
That's not affirming the consequent.
Because what I said, the X and the God exist, I didn't have those in the first proposition at all.
You are right. We just
So there's
hated
no
X.
way.
Damn, we
There's
just got
no
that.
way. There's no way that I could be affirming the consequent. I could be affirming it there because it wasn't in the first proposition.
Silent, you missed it. We discussed
Then
the
it's blown
evolution
out.
of corn.
Of corn?
The
What
band,
corn?
yeah, they were good in the '90s, and they kind of make shit
Dude, I
music
hate
now.
these porn fucking conversations with you goddamn dumbass Christians. There's always so shit.
Not
Ow.
porn,
Ow.
corn, dude. Corn. She said corn, dude. With a
Oh
C.
yeah, dude. That's how you know that That's how you know that like Silent is like a fucking like huge degenerate who just watches porn because he mauls about any conversation that's anti-porn. He has to get his fucking dopamine
Well,
fix.
cooming is like part of his face. I guess.
Wait, how
Coon.
much you want to bet Downey consumes a shitload of porn?
Oh, he consumes.
Well, he was
And you
extolling the
are-
virtues and
don't get it
values
wrong,
of
you
like
are
really niche
consuming
hentai a
that.
couple weeks ago. So
No, I'm a changed man. Okay.
I'm a changed man.
I'm different.
Yeah.
I use the other
He's
hand.
reformed. TM.
String, how is your totally not boring meeting going?
Oh no, we finished. I couldn't talk if that meeting was going because at any given moment someone might say things that absolutely cannot go out over Discord.
I was also on meet. Go ahead.
Oh, no,
What did you say?
No, I was gonna say I was also in meetings that really resembled a lot of our Discord conversations, as people were literally screaming at each other, and I was trying to calm everyone down.
Isn't
No,
a function
I
of
was.
Discord
This meeting
a
was
business
literally.
meeting?
This meeting was literally everyone had to sit on the meeting so that we could all sign off on the annual accounts, and so I was there because I had to be there, but no one actually cared. But like, yeah, that couldn't go out over Discord.
Well, yeah, it's
Get
yeah.
y'all's money
I would be
straight
more
up.
than happy to accept all your
Goddamn.
proprietary information about whatever financial transactions that you guys are conducting.
Yeah, no.
I just
Let me know,
just
dude.
wanted to make
I'll
it
drop in.
very
Like,
clear.
it won't be inside trading if I just like earwig.
I just want
it
to
would have
make
been a
it very
problem.
clear that currently
what?
I am using a knife to scratch up and cut up dead animal material. So just wanted to make that clear.
Hey, Patty, let us know the day that you're going to slaughter those little baby pigs. I'd like to hear. I would like to see that
Is now
live.
malding incessantly.
You mean Jason?
Yeah. Did you hear me?
Do you keep pigs there?
Do I
Patty,
keep
did you hear me?
pigs? No, I don't keep
Professionally, she
pigs. I
does.
work at a farm in which.
No, you keep
Wait,
pigs
what?
professionally.
I
That's what
keep
you do.
pigs
You
professionally.
you keep pigs.
Yeah,
That's
she
what you
slits
do.
the
I'm
throats of
sorry, my
animals.
brain's not working right now.
As
Dude,
part
if
of
you
your
do
job,
anything
you
and
keep
you make
pigs.
money off of it, you're a professional.
No,
Yeah,
as part of your
money off
job,
of selling
you
feet
keep pigs.
pigs, dude?
Slicer.
As
Yeah,
part of
you're
my
a
job, I
professional
keep
feet pick
pigs.
seller.
Hell yeah, dude.
Wait, what do I keep it? I'm
Didn't you
sorry.
say
I'm
you were
having
gonna
a
kill
really.
some baby
I'm having a
pigs?
moment right now.
That pig that you showed me the picture of, that pig's
Yeah.
owned by the farm that you work at, right?
So the thing is, Patty, is like there is a very niche,
Professional
very
keeper.
lucrative market for like big-footed women, right? And so what I do is I have like really
He
big feet.
calls me a degenerate, bro.
And so what I
Okay,
do is
stop.
I'll
No,
Please. I don't want to hear about it.
So because you
We're
are
talking about the
because
little
the
baby pigs.
place that you work keeps pigs and you
Yes.
work there, you
Yeah.
keep pigs professionally.
True. Okay, true. Yes. I keep a myriad of animals professionally there.
You do.
Can the pigs leave if they want?
No.
Well, they.
Dude, that's not how
kill
farm
them,
people
yeah.
work.
They probably do anyways, but they're
Yeah,
not
they
supposed
If
to.
the pigs wanted to leave, why can't they leave? Why was that
What do you
such a
mean?
scary no?
How do we know that pigs want to leave? What are you talking
Well,
about?
Jason, they also lack
Because they wanna-
thumbs, which is a major
Well, I'm just
deterrent.
saying. You said no, like so fast.
Well, they
what if
can't
the
get
pigs
out
wanted
because
to
of the
leave?
fence, dude.
Well, it's because
Yeah,
they
I understand that.
they are
Because of the
unable. They
They're
are
a keep.
cognitively unable to like ask to leave. Like I don't understand your question.
The screaming and scratching at the door doesn't indicate anything.
You think that my pigs are screaming and scratching at the door?
I reckon they
Well,
keep
no,
it on the
not
inside.
after a certain
Oh,
time.
I
of
called
you,
them my
Pains on the
pig.
inside.
Yes.
Not
yeah,
after a
you are
certain
wrong.
time, you'll develop a relationship where they have to depend on you.
What are you
And,
talking about?
They
You know
get
the
tired
best
of.
part of Charlotte's. You know the best part of Charlotte's Web is when they get the bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I don't quite
Toxoplasma
understand what you
gondii.
mean. So like
Oh,
they,
dude.
you don't get toxo from pigs,
There's
but
this
like
place in Nebraska that my family goes to. They have a potbelly
Yes,
pig
you sure
named
do.
Pepper.
What?
Named Pepper, and we feed that little
Yeah,
fucker
you
like
do.
like bacon and shit.
that's funny. Well, pigs are omnivores, so like
Well, they're
they
also cannibalistic by nature.
yes, like most animals.
Yeah, they're very
Well,
disgusting
what I was gonna
animals.
say-
They're and they don't have a way to get rid of their toxins.
Well, that's not
That's
true.
Wait, what do you mean they don't have a way to get rid of their toxins?
Don't.
Shit.
They got like
do
a
a lot of
tube
things.
that goes down to their foot. They don't sweat it out. They don't get it out
Okay.
through their.
A lot of animals lack the ability to sweat, but they still do stuff
Yeah, we
like
don't eat
urinate and defecate. That's how animals get rid of toxins.
Yeah, you don't get rid of toxins through sweat.
Yeah. So
pigs definitely don't get rid of toxins through anyway because they don't have the system.
So you're saying, wait, you're saying pigs don't poop toxins?
Yeah, are you saying
Of
pigs
course,
don't
yeah.
have kidneys or a liver as well?
Yeah.
Oh
like
no! Hold on.
They
If
don't
there's
have a
one,
poo pipe.
if
That's why
there's
it
one,
grows so fast.
if there's
If-
one animal that's incredibly hard to poison, it's a fucking pig. Okay.
Yeah, like in fact, pigs have very similar body parts, like similar organ structure and just organs in general to people. And so
Except
if
for the
it's your
livers.
argument, hold on, if it's your argument that like pigs can't get rid of toxins, then you would kind of be implying that humans can't get rid of toxins.
Well, no, we're not designed exactly the same as pigs. This is why Muslims and a lot of other religions aren't allowed to eat these animals. They're very disgusting.
No,
no,
pigs are actually
And they're
very
innate-
clean animals.
They're basically the garbage
pigs are quite clean.
disposals of nature.
Okay,
Hold on,
but
the reason why like the
Ugh.
Abrahamic religions don't allow like pork is because like these degenerate cultures didn't cook their food very well, and so like again like having undercooked meat, it's not the toxins in the pig, it's the parasites that tend to go along with the pigs, right? Because hold on, the pig.
Cooking.
Yeah, hold on. Oh yeah, the storage, right? Because the parasites that are in pig meat are very like because of how similar we are to pigs, very easy for cross contamination in the human body. Whereas something with like cow meat, like you could fucking eat a pig or a cow like fucking bleeding raw, right? The parasites that are in cow meat oftentimes are not like compatible.
Okay,
with
wait.
human.
Can we like hold on? Just stop.
There is more
Can we pause?
in pigs than there is cows.
Can we pause, please? Because I think that there's misinformation going on about what's in meat, and what's in meat is likely not animals that are like intrinsically parasitic. So what's typically in something like meat would be bacteria. That would be the most often thing that's in meat. But like this idea that parasites or worms are just wiggling around in the muscles of animals, which would be
They are in pigs. They are,
man. They are. Do you guys face this
so
or get educated about it? They literally are.
I don't know why
That's why you can't eat
I don't
raw
know
pork,
why the fuck this European is interrupting me. Close your mouth.
Oh man.
So like I don't know where you got that shit from because I was
He's
like
just
very
our
clear
ape
and not.
ancestor.
I don't.
I'll send you a video of a abattoir
Okay,
with
great.
worms
Right.
wiggling.
So if you send me this video, you understand that you're gonna get blown out, right? You understand that, right?
Oh fuck.
Do you understand that, right? Because
Well, I
I've
can't
seen just about every video involved with claims about parasites in meat, and I've also seen just about every video involved with claims of cancer and cysts in meat. You ready to get blown out?
You challenged
Oh,
her egg
I'm ready.
bread.
I'm ready to
She
get
flipped
blown
the
out for
switch.
sure
She's
because I
going
don't
in.
think you've
Someone
seen.
tried to tell me there's no
Patty, let me
parasites in
take.
pork.
Post it so I can blow you out.
Sure. Let me take a different approach, which is a little more honest one than whatever
I'm
just got
posting
said.
in guest
Which
text.
is there is a parasite, trichinosis, that was in the past frequently found in pigs. It's now mostly eradicated from the U.S.'s food supply, but still appears in other places.
Yes.
That's incorrect.
So that is actually extremely correct. Trichinosis was the most common. You can say note, but you'll still look dumb. Let me finish what I'm saying. So trichinosis was a very common foodborne disease, and it was caused by obviously a microscopic parasite. It was very common before. It was very common
Somebody's
before.
messaging me.
Yeah. It's very. It was very common before we really got down with biosecurity, but it's extremely rare now in the United States. Now, I'm telling you now, if you post a video of what you assert to be worms in meat, if you post a video of what you assert to be cysts and cancers in meat, I'm going to severely blow you out, and I don't think you want that.
Wait, if the video you're posting is about the meat moving, if the video you're going to post is a bunch of like springy muscle fibers pulled out of a very fresh cut of meat, we've all seen it.
Yeah. It went viral. Everyone's seen it. And we know the scientific claim, and we know what's actually going on. So, I mean, is that a hill you want to die on?
It sounds like you.
I thought
you
not.
do, but it sounds like you do, but you are talking absolute.
What do you mean I do?
Rubbish.
Sorry,
Wait,
I'm sorry.
What do you mean? What rubbish is she talking?
Yeah, what is the rubbish?
There's no parasites. There's no parasites in pork.
No, that's not.
I ain't no parasites in pork, mate.
So wait. Is your allegation? So that's a confusing claim. She said. I said, and I think Patty agreed with me, that it has mostly been eradicated, trichinosis, from the U.S. food supply.
Yes.
Right, so that was the claim that was made. Do you agree with
I
that
think that's
claim?
how Mozart
Yeah, but
died.
the USA is not the world, by the way.
I'm not
in
saying
the
that.
US.
And I admitted that there is definitely trichinosis problems in other places.
There we
And
go.
we can evaluate a place on a case-by-case basis.
One thing that people don't realize is that all cows have to be vaccinated for a number of diseases, right? Especially if they're crossing state lines, right? These vaccines will actually cause a discoloration within the neck muscle that leads to like yellowing, kind of like a weird scarring kind of effect. So that meat just gets turned into hamburger meat. But like if you actually do like a dissection of the cattle, like where we typically give them their vaccinations, it's like yellow all where we give them shots. Same thing in humans. Yeah.
Sorry, can you not say things that aren't true? Because that's just not true.
It is true, 100%.
Okay, so the claim you're making is that the location that vaccines are injected into humans turns into something that's not muscle, correct?
No, I'm not saying it's turning into not muscle. I'm saying it discolors the muscle.
Okay, so you understand that muscle isn't yellow, that it is a reddish brown.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it were yellow, it wouldn't be muscle. It would have to be something else.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, how could you have a muscle that was yellow?
I don't know. I have to ask a biologist. All I know is that, like where we give our cattle the shots on their neck, turns yellow. When I went to the,
that's just not true.
That 100% is true.
Totally fabricated.
I've literally seen it.
I don't believe you.
Dude, they clean the wound with iodine. That's why it's yellow.
No, that's after it's cleaned. He's saying years later.
Sorry. What is their claim this
or something?
What is the claim this time?
Oh yeah, no, that like when we give our like cattle shots, like vaccines, like for blackleg, it'll actually cause a discoloration in the meat, like in the neck area where we give them the vaccine for.
Okay, but you're probably referring to something related to bruising.
No. It's kind of like a weird scarring effect that discolors the muscle.
Yeah, that's just not true.
That's
100%.
It's total fabrication.
Nope.
Yes.
No. I'll pull it up for you here when I.
Sure, you do that. So, the claim that was made about trichinosis before you felt to tell us your very interesting thing, was that it is mostly eradicated in the U.S. food supply, and while it exists in other places, if that's what do you agree with that person who was British and said that there are still parasites in our pork?
I don't know about America. This is what
Okay,
I'm saying.
so where do you know about?
If you're telling me that, then I believe you. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know, but...
Sure. So where do you know about?
The UK.
So you think there's trichinosis in the pork there?
I didn't even know it was called trichinosis, but I have seen parasites in raw meat. Yes.
No, you haven't.
No, I don't believe that. So when you say you've seen parasites, you're saying that there are parasites that are visible to the naked eye in your meat.
Yes.
Total challenge.
All right, I'll take a picture next time, dude. I still eat it. Don't get me wrong. I just cook it properly.
If you see visible worms in your meat, you should not cook it properly. You should throw it the fuck out.
Yeah, I think you're majorly full of shit. Meat-related parasites are notoriously microscopic. They don't show up.
Dude.
The reason. I don't know why you're interrupting me. I was quiet the entire time you talked. Meat-related parasites are microscopic parasites. These are parasites that are able to go around in the fluid areas. So we're talking about the small membranes in between. I don't know why you're interrupting me once again, right? You can tell me that you know this. I'm still going to finish my sentence and you're still going to shut up. So anyway, it's typically going to be in like the membrane, like between the meat. And this is where like they do a lot of their living, a lot of their life cycle. But like this idea that parasitic worms are somehow able to push through the strength, like these parts of the muscle that are contracting and moving back and forth together is absolute nonsense. It would crush a parasite. It would crush a parasite that you're capable of seeing.
Hey, you cut the meat open and look inside, and the muscle moves. It moves. You can see it move.
Oh, I agree. So when you cut a brand spanking new piece of meat right off the cow, the muscle's moving all over the place. Are you talking about that video?
No, like a week later when you get it from the butchers or something.
Okay, so you're saying that you're getting pieces of pig or beef?
Pig.
Okay, you're saying you get a piece of pig, you cut it, and inside of that there are stringy things, there are big ass worms, there are dots.
They're microscopic. They're literally microscopic.
So you don't see them.
No, but you see all of them, and it's like a pussy type thing, like a microscopic like.
You should definitely stop eating that.
I was joking about eating that, dude. It's very rare. It's very rare, by the way, but I have seen it. So I know Pat's talking about.
So what you have experienced is not something that was in the pig before the pig was killed, but rather something that was introduced to the pork post the murder of the pig. That is a rot type infection.
We'll never know.
I mean,
dude, why did these Britbongers come on this?
Well, and just say dumb stuff. Like, you think we think you live in the third world? I'm confused.
Like,
I don't understand.
Britbongers gotta be educated, man.
I don't understand how you were given a logical and correct at that answer, and your response is, "Well, we'll just never know." Like, why? I don't understand.
That's got a point, though. You never know everything.
I don't. No, we do in fact know what kind of parasites get into meat, and it's not worms.
Okay, name them all.
What?
That is a killer argument. You
Name
definitely
you're a troll.
Definitely dominated her.
What?
So when someone says we know a thing, it doesn't mean that they know all the specifics of that thing.
Yo, educate me, bro. I need some of that high IQ education from String.
Yeah.
Right, there's a whole list of parasites.
There is.
Okay. So you want to pick one and narrow the argument down to one? That's up to you.
No, I'm saying I'm happy to discuss any parasite you want to discuss, but what you just described, you get a piece
lungworm.
Okay, which word you think you've seen this in your meat? No, pick the one that you think you've seen in your meat.
I have no idea, dude, by the way. I just described it to you.
But then you lied about whether you ate it or not, right? You said you cooked it enough and then you ate it, right? That's what you said before, but then you changed your tune later, right?
Is that eating something you know has got parasites is ridiculous, yeah? So why did you believe that?
Should I believe you when you say
Americans
things?
are too serious, you know?
Should I believe you when you say things, or should I think you're lying? Which one would you prefer?
Nah, you should.
I think you should turn your brain on and listen to the words I say and make your own.
I understand. So when you say things that are absurd, I should think you're lying, and when you say things that aren't absurd, I should think you're telling the truth. Is that it?
Indeed.
Okay, so I'm getting there. So let me be clear what you're asking. So when you say things that are wrong, I'm supposed to think you're not being serious. And when you say things that are right, I'm supposed to think you are being serious. And that's the method that I'm supposed to use to determine whether or not you're serious, whether I agree with you.
Indeed, yes.
Do you see how this fails to advance your cause?
How do you know that I've got...
Whenever you say something dumb, I'm supposed to ignore it. Whenever you say something smart, I'm supposed to believe it. So you agree with me about everything, right?
I don't agree with you about anything.
That was dumb. I don't believe you.
I don't care whether you believe me or not.
Oh yeah, but you said it was so the reason why I couldn't take you seriously about the parasites before is because you were obviously lying, right? And the reason I knew you were lying is because I thought it was dumb. And so now when you say...
it's obviously lying when someone tells you they've bought a piece of meat in the UK that's got parasites in it. That's obviously dumb.
That's obviously lying.
Ah, right. Okay, cool.
So when you say things like, you should believe me when I'm obviously telling the truth and doubt me when I'm obviously lying, what am I supposed to do when it's just you're apparently lying?
Wait. So let's just get this straight.
You have to use your
what
discernment.
You're telling us,
you have to turn your discernment
what
on
you're telling
and use
us
that.
Is that you were... I was talking before you, so let me get this straight. What you're telling us is that you were pretending to be retarded? Is that what you're telling us?
Excuse me, Patty? Why are you using all words in here?
Are you projecting?
I'm just asking you a question. Is that what you're telling us?
What the fuck is that? Pretending to be retarded.
Right. So before,
is this the
right?
First time
you
said to someone from the UK.
No, I in fact work with 5 people who are living in the UK right now.
5 people from the UK.
No, I work with 5 people who live in the UK.
5 people. Say walla.
Which part of that was confusing to you?
The part where you said any words at all.
Yeah, I get that. That was.
Wait, hold on. 5, like not even 4 or 3, 5.
Yeah, I thought I'd be accurate with the number of people who are in my office. There's 6 of us. One is
Wow.
me, and 5 are in the UK.
Oh my god!
Are those brothers? Are they Jewish as well? Or are they brothers like us? Or no?
I'm not interested in you guys trying to obfuscate.
Yeah,
from what
no,
we were talking
not
about
obfuscating. I'm
before.
just trying to understand.
So I
I
understand.
don't know why you're
No,
interrupting
we
me. Not
gotta
you, sir, but-
go ahead, Patty. We obviously got an influx of British idiots, and they
Yeah.
now like I don't know why we engage.
Well, you know, sometimes
Use my correct pronouns.
Your colleagues won't
much
like that.
please stop interrupting. Much like a
You're
band of monkeys.
interrupting.
Please stop interrupting me. Thank you. Sometimes when a band of monkeys are in trouble, they call their friends.
Oh yeah.
So what? Once again, right? Like, we're not interested in like the obfuscation from what we were talking about. There was a claim made that there are these parasites, like whether you were serious or not, that are in meat. And are you still sticking to that claim? Or are you like joking?
No,
hold on. I'm black, and I just got called a monkey.
He just
where's Darth?
Yeah, he walked off that claim. So we have to realize that he never actually made that claim because that claim was so idiotic that he's walked off.
Shut up, dude.
He's on a new claim.
I walked away from the claim that there's parasites in pork in the UK.
I don't know what claims you actually have or actually don't. You told me that I should believe you're lying when you say things sometimes. That means that I don't trust you at all. So you don't actually make any claims.
I don't trust the words you say.
You
How do I
shouldn't.
know you got 5 British mates? Well, exactly. Well, I'm holding the mirror.
Yeah,
in
how
your
do you
face.
know?
Why does anybody care?
So here's the thing. Easy enough for me to prove. Don't feel like doing it.
So you guys think there's no parasites in pork? Is that the claim?
No, that's not what
That is the
Patty
claim.
or
That's the
I.
moronic claim.
It sounds like you just made fun of somebody for making that opposite claim.
Oh, so yes, I found it. It's called. It wasn't blackleg. It was foot and mouth disease, or foot and mouth disease. The vaccine that causes like abnormalities within the meat at the injection site.
I'm not sure I believe this.
Oh yeah, right here. There's like a little article that goes over.
Okay,
it.
I'll take a link.
Yeah, right here. I can find more now that I know which vaccine it's talking about. But like they had I go to the fucking cattle shows all the time, and they were talking about this and how they usually take like the meat from that area and throw it into hamburger patties.
Are you from that industry, sir?
Yeah, I am.
Excellent.
Yeah, I raise and sell breeder cattle, so I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two and I worked with a thing or two. And
Do you agree?
See, you can't dismiss him because he's not British, so now you have to address him.
I know, right? I have to actually read the evidence he's shown, and I totally agree. So I agree that it is possible that at an injection site for a vaccine, you could get a granuloma or an abscess. I am 100% there. Do you agree that neither a granuloma nor an abscess is muscle?
I'm not sure. I'm not a biologist. I
You
just know
should look
that-
up what those terms mean.
Okay. All I know is that when they cut open like the meat, like around the neck, yeah, it was a yellow patch, right, of just what looked like meat
Abscess.
turn yellow.
Nope, that's an abscess.
But an abscess has like bacteria and shit.
I like how you screaming abscess looks way better.
It's just discolored meat.
No, it's not. An abscess is not meat. So
no, I'm not saying an abscess is meat. I'm saying like the area that they showed was
I'm
just
saying
discolored
you
meat.
throw it into a fucking
Okay,
blender and call it ground beef.
Anyway,
you call
I
it
don't know
meat
why
anyway.
string
No,
is
we
so
don't.
anal.
Shut up.
The
Stop.
abscess can be
I was
inside the meat.
Stop. Like, why
That
do
was
you
the
guys
claim.
feel that? Why do you guys feel that you need to talk when someone else is talking? So,
Why do you
like,
always have
an
to like stop
abscess,
everybody else talking before you can talk?
because that's what people do when it's their turn to talk.
No, it's
Everyone else
rude.
should be
You
quiet.
tell everybody else
Just
to
like
shut up.
people.
So
Yo, let the woman
Just
speak.
like
Don't be
people-
misogynist, Echo.
Thank you. Just like people, are quiet when you're talking. Thank you. So anyway,
Shut up, bitch.
you shut up, silent. So I just know that voice. So, and by the way, this isn't towards you, Downey, but no, cysts, abscesses.
Oh, I
These
know
are
what a
not.
fucking cyst looks like.
Yeah, I'm just saying these are not meat. So like, why are we conflating meat with a cyst or an abscess? Like, why are we doing
The
that?
abscess could be inside the meat.
It's not.
It could. No, that's not That's not true. You could have an abscess in your muscle. Absolutely.
Oh, an abscess, yes. A cyst, no. So
You could have a cyst in your muscle. You could have
No,
that.
cysts can be between muscle, but cysts do not exist in muscle. Cysts are pocketed forms of bacteria that exist between muscle.
Yeah, that's fair. So if there would be a pocket in between the muscle fibers that was a cyst.
Yeah, and it sometimes
But
the
if it's
same can go
inside,
for an
is it
abscess, but
inside?
so abscesses are usually something in which are also pocketed
Doesn't know
tissue
anything.
that appear. Abscesses are often pocketed tissue that appears on top of muscle. So
Mm.
that's why, for example, you'll see videos of when abscesses are popped on cattle, it's a
Mm.
big lump that exists right on top of the muscle. These are things that
Staph
happen
infection.
that often happen within like skin areas. Cysts go
Mm.
deeper in between muscle. Abscesses tend to sit on top of muscle between skin.
That's a staph infection. Ugh.
Yep, that is an abscess.
I like a little bit of staph infection included with my animal product.
Did I describe it correctly? Is everyone
Yeah,
happy?
I think you absolutely did.
Yeah, you want a
Oh,
video?
cool.
I got a
Thanks.
video of it. You want a video?
So we
But the
understand.
abscess could have been within the muscle, though. That's why.
Check out the guest
so it would
text. I'll
be
show
very,
you what
very
the video
difficult.
looks like.
It is
Yummy.
possible, but very, very difficult to have a non-surface abscess. It means
Well,
that there was an infection.
when something's been injected into the muscle, there's quite a high chance of that. This is what the guy's
No, that's
talking
not
to,
true.
but you're being morons.
That is true.
No, that's not true. So no, when something's been injected into the muscle, the thing that it was injected is almost certainly sterile.
Almost certainly. You're fucking talking about the
What
ass of a
has that
cow.
got to
A
do
dirty
with
ass
it? 'Cause
cow.
the vaccine has been injected into the muscle with all the
Vaccines
chlorophyll
are
and the
sterile.
preservative.
Sterile. None of those cause an immune response.
It's the needle going in through the dirty skin, dude.
Absolutely, and that would be cleaned off in a couple of in very, very quickly.
Maybe. Or they don't give a shit and who cares?
Okay, that's certainly possible, but we want to focus on what they actually do because no one's interested in their cows dying. They don't treat their cows worse for no reason.
They just up the antibiotics, dude.
Why would you spend more when you could spend less?
Antibiotics is super cheap and they just fucking inject it.
It is true.
Well,
Why
The
would you
antibiotics
spend
are
more?
pretty cheap.
Sure.
That's
Why
the
would you
fix
spend
for it, but that's
more
the fix
when you
for
could
it.
spend less?
Why would you spend less? How would you spend less? That's the fix
Okay,
for
so
it.
if you did just use a dirty needle and instead
Uh-huh.
cleaned the needle between injections,
Right.
which is cost free, you agree that's
The needle's not
cost-free,
the
right?
problem, it's the dirty animal skin.
Dude,
No,
are you just like pretending to be stupid, or like what is going on?
Yeah.
in this
Wait,
It's
conversation?
not it's not the needle that we're worried about, it's the dirty animal
I
skin.
understand. How
being
often
And
do you
Patty
get?
and String are pretending to be retarded, like they projected
So
on the
hold on, this is actually like a
Sure.
really fucking dumb statement right here. Because in the industry, when you're dealing with like not vaccinating per se. Oh, it could be a vaccination thing. When you load up multiple doses for like all your cattle that you have running through, it's actually ill-advised to be trying to clean out your needle each time with with sterilizing agents, because again, you're not providing enough time for it all to dry out, which can really destroy your vaccine.
What would lead you to think that I said so what words did you add to what I said?
What you said was to
What did I
clean out the
say,
needle,
and then
like,
what
between
words
each
did you
use.
add? Right, and what word did you add?
Sterilize.
Why do you think I would use sterilizing agents to clean a needle?
Because typically infections are caused by bacteria, and you want to sterilize your needle.
Why would I use a sterilization agent that required me to dry off the needle in order to sterilize the needle
That's
in
a good
between
question.
injections? Why would I do something dumb? Why do you assume? Well, you don't do something dumb, but do you dip the needle in mud after every cow?
No.
Just
Oh,
spit on
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Do you
The cow
spit
has
on it?
mud on its hide, bro. What do you think these are polished animals, dude? These are dirty ass
What
animals.
are you
man.
talking about, dude? Like the process in which I don't know, and this is really important, is making sure you understand distinction between farm operations. All farms do not operate the same. So the way in which Downey operates his cattle farm with his family probably would not be the same way if I were to operate a farm with my family. If I were Downey, personally, I would do something like run a pot of water in between use of every cow that I would use. Guess what? If you do that, you don't run the risk
Be there
of
all fucking
losing.
day.
Well,
Oh,
you can say
fucking
it, sure. You can complain that you'll be there all fucking day. But personally, I think that you're engaging in a huge biosecurity risk.
No,
They're just giving him staph infection and they give him
No.
antibiotics for it. That
Yeah,
happens
no,
all the time.
literally what happens is like they'll get a little knot on their neck. You go and pop that shit. The very fucking worst, right?
I showed a video and voice links.
Yeah. Literally, like that right there will cost you $30 to get a vet to come out and do. Not
Okay,
bad at
If
all.
you're gonna do it yourself, right?
hold on. Nobody's discounting. You seem to be under the impression that I'm the kind of person that'll like call the.
Sorry, I watched the video.
You seem to be
You
under.
seen that, Chris?
Wait, you sound deluded.
I don't know why
You
you
really
are
do.
talking while I'm talking.
You
You
sound
seem to
deluded.
be. I don't know why you're talking while I'm talking. You seem to be under the impression that I'm the kind of person that'll call the vet because a chicken is sick. My impression is not that farmers do not engage in animal husbandry. That would be a really bad take on my part. So nobody's saying that farmers do not engage in animal husbandry. What I am saying is that some farmers engage in animal husbandry better than others.
We're talking
that's a
about staph
crazy
infection
take. I
on an
thought you were
animal
gonna say something
or a
about that.
cow
That's wild.
specifically.
Yeah, and in regards to a cow, it's really easy, in my opinion, to switch needles by putting one in boiling water and then use the other for the cow, and then put the one you just used in boiling water, which helps mitigate the risk of bacteria and viral transfer while also caring about biosecurity. So this idea that farmers are just all going around doing the same thing and totally ignoring biosecurity and cross-transfer risk is nonsense.
Yo, Patty, you ever grow like any carrots, like any peas?
Yeah. But
Like what else?
that
Like turnips?
has nothing to do with the conversation. Please don't
Oh,
derail.
sorry.
So let's
you
go
think
back.
you think with that technique
Let's
you
go
would
back.
stop
Sorry.
all
Let's
staph
go back.
infections on
Let's
cows?
go
Like
back.
dip them in
Let's
boiling
go
water. That
back.
would stop
Why
all the
are you
infections.
doing this? Do you
Why?
understand? Do
Why?
you understand?
Sure. I mean, I don't know why. So if I were Downey or Jason, and I was trying to present some opinion about whatever they're trying to present the opinion about, the Brit Bonger who has admitted that they lie would be the worst person to have on my team.
A Brit Bonger.
That's racist, bro. That's a racial term.
Well, you believe
Brit
me
Bonger
when
is not a
you believe
racial
me when I
term.
say
Actually,
I
if I'm
lied.
choosing
I don't
teams,
know
I'm
why
choosing
you
the
guys. Okay,
guy
how
that
about this?
literally
Look,
farms
I'm
them.
sorry. You guys
Did you hear
are
me?
being quite. You guys are being quite insufferable.
Patty
we can
called me a
either.
monkey and I'm black.
We can
Yeah,
either.
well, you know what? I'm just
Hold
let it go, Patty. I'm
just
done.
hold on, string. We can either stay in this channel and get it together, or there are two options. We can move to Strings channel or any channel you wish, or
I gotta do dinner soon.
Yeah, or I'll just call someone to come in here and moderate the way they see fit, because you guys are not exactly acting like normal human beings.
Patty, you can moderate us. That's okay.
No, that's
cannot.
fine. She's not going to.
The little
Wait, guys, we need a
Do I
Patty
deserve
channel. That's what we
moderation
need.
right
We need a
now?
channel
Like
for Patty.
Am I to be muted?
It's quite no, Jason. You're not going to be
Okay.
muted. What the fuck?
It's not you. It's the fucking Brit Bongers.
Bro,
Yeah.
I know if I go to Strings channel, String gonna mute me and start like racially
Oh
insulting
yeah,
me.
these are those.
What is this
No,
thing?
I
What have you got
guarantee.
against
No,
British
it's fine.
people?
If you move into
Is it
Strings
nobody else
channel
can-
right now, right now, you are extremely low risk to be muted.
Very low.
Yeah.
Hey, String, can you unmute me out of your channel?
String's got a promise though.
So let's
Thank
go.
you.
Hold
Let's
on,
move. Go down to string theory right now.
Before
Yeah,
we
just go down there and
I
you'll
want to
mute me.
talk about this.
No, I won't.
Hold on, this drop channel.
Let's do that. Let's do that then. If I'm welcome, I'll do that. Would you guys?
Wait, why don't just stay in this chat?
Is that Mike?
This
Is that Mikey
only
Mike?
amping up Darth's bullshit.
It is.
anyway.
It is babes. It is babes.
Mike, you sound different. I don't like your new mic.
Just say Mike, my guy.
I was
Hey,
only
do
going
you
to
have
ask
the
if she thought
COVID?
she could stop every infection.
Then why do you
No,
sound like you have like two huge black dicks in your nose?
My two
What the
roommates,
hell?
one got Omicron, the other one got Delta. But I didn't get the virus. Fuck yeah.
Like, anybody ever tell you that
I
you're
pulled
like
out-
extra chromosomes?
Yo, Echo Chamber, my brother.
Yeah, I
Echo,
got 5 extra chromosomes.
how's it going, bro? After being racially insulted, bro, we got called Brit Bongers.
Yeah,
man.
I got 5
I know.
extra chromosomes.
I know it's so offensive, man.
I feel offended.
Man, I can tell you were like kidding about the eating it stuff, but you know what I mean. There's Americans, they don't get like British humor, you know.
Yeah.
Those Yanks, they don't get it, you know.
He's got 5 British mates, though. Do you know what I mean? That's like saying I got a black mate.
No, not even
the
like
fuck?
you saying you got a black mate. It's like you saying you got like a whole black like football team, bro.
Yeah, I've got 5 black mates.
Yeah.
What the
Black-
fuck?
Have you watched Little Britain?
Not really.
All right. There's like this like funny scene of the whole like I got a black mate.
Oh, is
Like,
it?
one white guy with 4 black mates. Have you seen that clip?
No.
This is too funny.
It was just his defense, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you know, like when you have like the Nubian queen Patty and Nicole, like nothing, bro. You can't speak
Who
out.
is
Like she'll
Patty?
whip you.
Is Patty another one of these celebrities that no
Bro,
one
she's
told
like a
me about?
dominatrix, bro. There's like nothing you can do against her, bro.
Why are you talking? Why are you talking? What the fuck is that? Honestly, what the fuck is that?
Bro, you just gotta bow down. That's it. Like nothing else you can do.
But who taught her to behave like that? I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, but she's like a tough woman. You know what I mean? Like she's on that. She's extra.
I just don't think she gets to talk like that in real life, so she gets it all out in Discord.
I mean, you could say this about literally everybody on Discord.
Yeah, very much.
Let's be real.
I got a theory on everyone.
Like, is there anybody on Discord that like says like even me and you? Let's be real. Like, we say some crazy shit.
Are you being serious, Echo? I'm like, what do you think? Yeah.
You know what's the craziest thing I've heard on Discord?
What's up, bro?
Darth Dawkins talking like he knows logic.
You know, Darth is genius. You just don't get him, man.
Yeah, that's true. He's brilliant.
He's just not on that level, bro.
The conversation I just had with him, I was trying so hard not to flip out on how fucking stupid he was acting.
How long do you reckon he's gonna last?
Yeah, I mean, his narcissism he'll self-implode and go somewhere else. He was on Chatter, what's it called? Clubhouse for a while, but everybody blocked him, so he couldn't go into rooms. So then he came back here.
Yeah, he's just gonna run out of places to go, isn't it? You know.
Just classic clinical narcissism. He's so interesting because he's actually intelligent. Most people I see with narcissism are just dumb. But
dude, sometimes when I hear him talk, I can hear his cognitive dissonance about to rupture his brain, and he's about to have an epileptic fit. He goes, as he's speaking, he goes, I can tell his brain going, no. But he goes, no, he like pushes through, and he's gonna give himself
hold on.
He's gonna give himself an aneurysm.
Sorry, the thing that most people don't get is that there's people with like views that are very differing. Like even people with cognitive dissonance doesn't necessarily mean they're dumb. I mean, most people don't know
he's
shit.
definitely intelligent. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm speaking upon it. That's what I'm saying. He's intelligent.
Yeah.
So
intelligent,
I can hear his mind like creak, like he bounces up against his cognitive.
The thing is, this is all humans, you know. All humans are like this. You have an ideology and you stick to it, and you have to defend it, and you have to rationalize defenses for it. That's just not normal.
His level of not facing reality is it's pathologic. It's not normal.
Yeah, but the thing is, cool guy Jeff, right? Like, to a certain extent, like it's more gray. Like for example, from your point of view, you exist like you have the whole academia and the establishment and the accepted way of thinking, and you fall in line with that. So it's all easier for you to say, "Oh no, this is real, this is real, this is true," and then you're backed by everyone.
Well, I'm okay with being a skeptic, but when you go through the argument, and you're not like honest about the arguments you're having, then it goes beyond just being a skeptic.
No, Darth is a bit like grumpy old man, like you're too much, you'll mute people or shout at them.
Well, he lies. He just lied to me a moment ago during a conversation.
If he wasn't like, I guess, so grumpy and crazy, he'd be all right. He wouldn't be too bad,
Dude, he has classic narcissistic personality disorder. He fits all the criteria for both DSM-4 and 5. Somebody brought that up to him the other day, and he was like, he was trying to discredit.
Sounds like you've got an issue with your testicular fortitude, there, boy.
Yeah, small testicles. He was trying to disregard psychiatry in the DSM.
I mean, to a certain extent, psychiatry, I don't know. Like, I to a certain extent disregard it.
Well, it's true that DSM is categorical, and there are arbitrary lines drawn between.
I mean, if you look at psychiatry, right, it's the one field that has the most like changes in it. Like it's the most constantly being revised of all fields of science.
That's fine, but to say that these diagnoses don't represent anything in reality is just absolutely insane. Because that's what he was trying to do.
On some issues, Well, on some other issues, I think, but let's not go there. But
yeah, there are plenty of ways you can criticize psychiatry, and it's mostly based on the fact that it's hard to get a good biophysiologic or pathophysiologic model of the things that are, instantiated as mental
it can also be
disorders,
heavily politicized as well. And
definitely. But it is cultural, it is arbitrary. But when you fit a diagnosis, you fit a diagnosis. Like you can't get away from that. If you want to say that diagnosis
first
is wrong,
there has to be a pill, then there be a diagnosis.
Jack Griffin based.
That's the old monoamine hypothesis that nobody really follows anymore. Now it's about like integrating like behavioral techniques and like social issues and economic factors and all that stuff.
But with Darth though, to be honest, like he's of that age now, that if he keeps up his mantra, because it's face it is a mantra at this point, it might actually help him in his cognitive, like
Oh, what he means is like it exercises your brain and stuff. Keeps his brain exercised.
I mean, if you could argue in good faith, I think that would be a better exercise than just being dogmatic. But yeah, I agree.
It's a mantra now. Do you see what I mean? He's like balls deep in the mantra, so he just practices.
Yeah, being dynamic, I think it will help your longevity of cognitive.
I mean, if you look at, like, for example, Alzheimer's, like the diagnosis with Alzheimer's is more of a recent thing, and heart disease is a very recent thing. Heart disease was basically unknown of before the 1900s.
No, what I'm speaking to when he's like in a rocking chair.
No, I'm sorry, I was derailing a bit.
The last
Just
thing
because polyunsaturated fats.
Yeah, Jack knows. What are you saying, Echo?
Now, what I mean is mantra. Like, just in the future, in rocking chair in a corner, like you forget everything else. You won't know who he is, but you remember his mantra. Like
Yeah. You think he'll still have his Discord though, even there, bro? So he'll still like be active. But you gotta stay away from the seed oils, man. I'm being real.
What?
Stay away from seed oils, Echo.
Seed oils?
Like sunflower, vegetable oil, canola, peanut.
Yes.
Corn
all
oil.
that stuff. For sure. That's the...
Go on. Let Jack tell you why. Jack can tell you why if you want.
I'm not totally convinced yet, but I've seen a few things about the correlation between polyunsaturated fats and all those vegetable oils, seed oils, like you said, and the rise in strokes and heart attacks. But I haven't seen the counter argument yet, so I'm not convinced.
Olive is fine. Olive oil is fine. No, olive oil.
That's what we use. Olive oil, the light olive oil. That's all we use.
Yeah, olive oil, butter, animal fats, lard. That's fine.
Yeah, right. That's the theory, right?
What's wrong with seeds?
It's pretty convincing.
Wait, let me tell you. See, with the seed oils, there's this thing where it's like it oxidizes, and then it goes around in your body, and it causes like chemical reactions. It just disrupts your body, disrupts your body's processes, disrupts your energy production, like causes cancer, causes Alzheimer's.
Is it the extraction technique that does it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's part of producing it. Yeah. Part of producing it. Of course.
Also, it's not found.
That's the conclusion I got to. I was like, all right.
Right, and also it's not found in nature. So the amount of corn or safflower, or sunflower seeds and all that stuff you would need to extract that oil is something you would never eat. 98 bushels of corn or
to make oil. We use rapeseed oil.
And rapeseed? I think rapeseed's pretty much the same. Yeah, it's also seed oil. It's also.
Yeah, but rapeseeds are teeny, like they're microscopic. They make oil.
Yeah. Like, for example, for corn, right? To get like 1 tablespoon of corn oil, they have to like something like 12,000 calories of corn. Like a lot of corn, like many kilograms of corns just